me out there at myself. Right. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'd love to welcome you into Mythic Showdown Season 2, and this is our back. On this perfect video by War Drum Esports. And today we begin the Swiss stage, the one we all were highly anticipated for. And guess what? It's gonna be a banger today because the best of ones right here. And guess what, guys? Will be two teams already playing. Let's see it from there.
Right. I don't exactly know why I'm not on the screen. Oh wait, there we go. Okay, thank you, Twilight. Anyways, welcome back, guys, to the Mythic Showdown. A beautiful introduction from our boy Shinryu, of course. But as for me, whoa, this is actually my first time in Mythic Showdown. Season 1, not quite there, but in Season 2, maybe we'll make a debut. Yeah, so it's pretty much cool now. But yes, we are approaching the Swiss stage. Right now, as you know, open qualifiers, wildcards, we have a bunch of teams fighting for the wildcard stage. In that tree, I think, made it to the stage, and now fighting with elite teams. They're going to be here in the Swiss stage, which happens to be one of those teams. That is Rayuga Esports against the Mythic leaderboard, one of the guys that is Armageddon Esports. All right. And then from there, it's basically going to be an online clash. And this Swiss stage, this Swiss stage is such a candy for the eyes because everybody's obsessed with the Swiss format now. The fact that it was introduced way back, and then now it's like a staple of every kind of tournament because it brings that element of surprise. Maybe the best team could have been like the lower teams in the world bracket, and then they suddenly lost. Sometimes the worst teams could possibly get the very 3 Ws. So it basically comes down to a fact that how you basically manage your brackets, and that is the best part of the Swiss format right now. And as we are going to the round 1 of the matches that we're going to be having soon, I think there's like 4 matches for today, but the first one is going to be, of course, Armageddon versus Rayuga. I want to talk a bit on these teams. I think Shinryu also would be prepared on giving some insights about the teams. But let's start with Armageddon because they've been in the Mythic leaderboards. We haven't seen them playing much, despite their appearance in the MLOS tournament. Other than that, I think they are back. They're sitting on like the 5 points, which is kind of still underwhelming, but I think they're coming back. Maybe they're trying to form a protagonist arc, hopefully climbing up the ranks. What do you think, Shinryu?
Well, sorry about my mic. It's kind of glitching for the moment. So if you can hear me, it's right, all right. So, I mean, at least for Armageddon, like you mentioned, we have not been seeing them too often, but hey, they are still there, right? You cannot just undermine a team which are on the Mythic leaderboard. And apart from that, even Rayuga Esports have been a consistent team with, 2 of their pillar, I would say, at least for Vishal as well as for Chocolate Chan. They have always been there, and I think they have carried the team quite well. And even with this lineup that they're appearing for the Mythic Showdown, they're more than prepared to take the stage and even, win this out, because this victory will definitely put them quite ahead compared to the other teams. If they can get it secured early on, then they will be much closer into qualifying for the playoffs as well. So we'll see them, how they actually can perform. But apart from that, Armageddon Esports, even though they have not been appearing too often, but I think, or we all believe for sure that this match is not going to be easy for Rayuga Esports at all, for sure.
Especially the fact that I've seen that Armageddons are finally scoring points in the Mythic leaderboards. Maybe they've been dishing out quite the efforts onto their gameplay. I did know that 2 of their previous members are like out of the chopping board now. Instead, they're replaced by 2, which is, I think, Twin Blade and Swain, which was, I think, a previous mid laner before. I think was in Inheaven. I got some details about that, that they have taken somebody from a different team for their mid laner. Unfortunately, Ryoda, which was the OG mid laner, is unfortunately not going to be participating here. So, but hope they can do by with Swain as well. Hopefully, they've built up the synergy so far. And like you've said, Rayuga, first time in the Switch stage, which is actually very crazy. I've seen them play in tournaments before. Chocolate Chan, Vishal, like you said, have been in the group, the founded member, which has been like 1 year of playing in the team. Uh,
True, true.
and they didn't made it to the Mythic Showdown in season 1, which is kind of sad. So, what do you think now? What do you think that they make it here? Will they be able to finally prove themselves for the trophy?
With all these teams actually reforming and having new players or new members joining their lineup, I think it's still very uncertain which teams will actually be able to perform really well, or who will be the underdog in this tournament. Because we know, at least for the mythic teams, they have been consistent
Yeah.
despite again shuffling with the lineups. They are still equally strong, if not how they were previously. But at this point, the teams are actually rising. There are so many new teams that we look at, and right now we are talking about two teams which have been there, but I feel again they are also a threat to the teams that have been sitting at the top. So we cannot undermine any team, but the main thing is not even about the team, it's about the prize pool, the things that are on the line these teams are actually playing for, that really determines how into or how much efforts put into winning these games. Because every win counts. Every win will put them much closer into qualifying for LAN events, because this is not just an online phase. Mythic Showdown season 1 was just an online phase, but this one actually carries the fire of the LAN event, which have been really popular recently. We have already seen a couple of LANs happening in and around, so I think this one too does, with that hefty prize pool, lure the players to even perform much better.
Of course, the price will be in a very hefty one, like we already said. 4 lakhs. I'm just gonna say like 400k INR because I hopefully think we're gonna have some international watchers as well. So, and yeah, 200k diamonds as well. On top of that, not only you're gonna be using that money to, I don't know, get your necessities, and still you still get your opportunity of getting diamonds and your beautiful skins. But right now, I don't know how exactly they're gonna space things out just yet, but Shin, if we're going to be talking
Yeah.
about the meta right now, the meta is a mess, don't you say?
True, true. You know, talk about this meta. Hello, hello. Am I audible? Okay, it should be back
Yeah.
now. So, hey, I think currently, since we have been talking about the meta so often, it's have been a very, very messy place to begin with, because
Yeah.
each and everything works. Again, each and everything doesn't work depending upon your team, depending upon your lineup. It all comes down to, or it all boils down to the point how well you can actually just strategize against the opponent team. Sometimes few teams are actually winning with the fighter goal lane, whereas the other teams, they're performing better with the marksman. It all comes down to how you can actually just around and play with those heroes, because your team has to adjust to these new changes, and if you cannot adjust, it's very difficult to actually just try and challenge the new changes with those, because you have to think, at some point you can also, but then the utility is winning. So which one do you get from is still going to be a question. But again, we are here with the and get into it, and talking about the utility jungle, both the teams are actually opting for it in this one.
Absolutely, utility jungle, and maybe they might go for the usual picks in terms of gold lane here, because I've heard Ito never likes to play the fighter meta. He says this meta is absolutely disgusting. Playing a fighter on gold lane, kind of agree, kind of beats the purpose of how Moonton or Devs try to go with the meta session. But anytime they always make it to a point where weird heroes will end up not in their perspective role. Instead, they would be on mid, maybe on jungle. And exactly, it's very unpredictable. So here we are. We got Armageddon onto the, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the red side, and Rayuga on the blue. We have seen some, a plethora of bans over here, namely Armageddon already taking out the Nathan on their side, which could be quite a menace. The fact that they know that they go for the utility jungle, which means they're going to go for the, DPS marksman.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite surprised to see they're still not banning out quite the heroes that can pose the problem, but at the same time, you can see the heroes, they're pretty honest with their draft, at least for the Garut Kacha, as well as this, at least for the Garut Kacha, and the Baxia is pretty honest that they might be just going for the roam Garut Kacha and the jungle Bucks here. So apart from that, the only flex they would be having or would be opting for is the CC, which can still be used onto the goal lane, depending
Yeah,
upon what the teams want or if their goal laner is comfortable with that or not. Whereas Rayuga Esports is still like the mid trio that we are looking at, and with the dragon being add up. And let's just talk about this dragon, right? Recently, it has been performing really well, exceptionally well
true.
against those heroes which are heavily reliant on positioning, especially the
Yep.
Varsa, especially the Eve, which we are seeing appearing in this game, of course, from the side of Armageddon Esports.
Indeed, indeed. And the fact that Dangerous Grass is here for the mode. We did see a Hilda pick on the side of Rayuga, which is gonna complement the entire map because her new patch, new revamp is basically changed onto the fact that the more grass, the more the harder she could hit because her fires definitely don't rely on the bush anymore. So there we go. We are getting a Harriet gold, which is actually kind of interesting, don't you say, Shinryu?
Absolutely, because the CC could still be a flex. Like I
Yep.
mentioned, if the CC goes against the Harriet, the early games definitely would be in the hands of the CC because the Harriet does require 4 items before you can actually dish out some real damage, and again, very still that can counter the Harriet on the goal lane. Still to go against the Harriet, but I kind of disagree with that because the Brody's early game is one of the strongest in the game, if not the strongest for sure.
Indeed, a few touch of the abyssal marks can kind of dwindle down your HP to a very critical state, but that depends on how you can dodge those abyssal strikes. But other than that, I think Spicy would also be prepared of how to handle the Brody. But in terms of that, I think Ito might go for the offensive approach, maybe poking down with the corrosion, yeah, the corrosion strike. But other than that, this is looking like an overall a pretty decent draft for the both side of the teams. With that, what would be your favorite one on this one?
Like if you just talk about this draft, right? That the Rayuga esports side, they have a very dynamic hero pool or the hero lineup that they're going for, right? The picks are really strong in just how they can hold the lane on their own, and even the fact that they're going for more onto the magic damage kind of negates the fact that the physical damage would not be the problem for the side of team Armageddon Esports. Like the fact that still kind of get more damage builds. We can the bugs. It's going to be a problem. They're kind of behind, but despite that, both the teams have a pretty. It's more about the 5v5 fights because you can see a lot of AoE skills are locked in from both the teams. It's about actually get the best position on a minute. But at least for the Rayuga laner, whereas for the side of Armageddon, they can take it easily.
Indeed. Look at our beautiful boys here, ready for an action. And like you said, this could pose a threat for Spicy on the gold, but don't forget, I think Swain got some of the teams pretty clevered up in terms of rotation. I think both of the teams instead, Fredrin won't be rotating that fast, but Bakshi on their hand with a Shield of Unity. At the same time, CC, Gatot with the AOG could go for maybe elements of surprise dashes here and there. But other than that, I think we are going to be heading to the land of Dawn here.
Absolutely, and just a few seconds wait before we go into the land of John. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we would love to welcome you into the Mythic Showdown Season 2. This is presented to you by War Drum Games. This is powered by Vizta Games, of course, MOBA Legends 5v5. And if you're new, then this will be the Swiss stages starting off from today and match. The red side. The cast deck. This one. So let's take the game ahead. This cross is going to be really important because the Hilda kind of, or maybe most of the time, can get the advantage It's ambush place. Whereas at the same time, Armageddon Esports can take advantage of that, but oh, it is quite it's kind of difficult to rotate very quickly.
Yeah, as you can see, most of the mid laners have cleared their respective lanes, getting the advantage of the level 2, which unlocks your second skill. And yeah, look at prior emblems right now. This is actually a new implementation in Mythic Showdown, which other tournaments haven't been doing this, so it's great to see this. As you see, if some people want to learn their emblems, their favorite pro player emblems, they could definitely do it right now. But as of now, we're locking into the second minute now. The turtle will be spawning in a matter of 25 seconds, but other than that, it seems like Rayuga are already invading the bot side of Armageddon Esports jungle.
Absolutely, and this is like a slow game, at least for the first few minutes of the game, because they are requiring that level 4 before they can do much of the damage. They need that huge ultimates and huge skills to actually start and be able to just pick up the turtle, because the setup is most important part. And with the Black Dragon form, with the AOG, they can do a lot more zoning than otherwise. But at the same time, you can see Rayuga Esports would be the first team to actually start it off. A good zoning coming out already from Vishal. He's trying to use the Black Dragon form to go in. Bugsy will be going in. 50-50 Retribution is going to get it. It's going to be Chocolate Chan winning out of Retribution. The RW will be dropped down. The first blood will be onto the hands of Kevin Etar. And again, they will be going for more Kevin Etar. Not Kevin Etar this time. It's going to be Chocolate Chan picking up a double. Alongside that, even Kevin Etar picks up a double. And this fight will be going completely in the favor of Team Rayuga Esports.
Well, we just saw this turtle spawn and a turtle soup for Rayuga. At the same time, we've topped it off with 4 kills as a topping. As you can see on top lane, it seems like Ito's going to be backing off the fact that you don't want to eat too much damage just yet. But man, 4 down the drain is already so bad compared that Armageddon are not going to be having the lead. As you can see on the gold lead, there's already like a, mostly like a 2k difference already. So in terms of the lead, Rayuga have the lead. If they can push up this momentum, I think this could work out. But there's a brawling session onto the top side here. Misses with the traction pulse. And other than that, what do you think is gonna happen if Ito doesn't do much here?
He definitely needs to hold his lane and get as much as gold possible, because if not, the damage will not be enough for the team to actually just try and take down anyone. And there will be the AOG used up just for a good zoning, not really getting too much out of that resource. But at the same time, there will be the taunt onto his 2 members. They're still going in for more. The Revitalize popped out, but will it be enough for him to survive? Absolutely no. And one more kill in the hands of Kevin Etar, and he is doing absolutely phenomenal on the Kimmy. 3-0 and 2. Talk about a dream start.
Sir, level ranking Chocolate Chan is already level 7, which means, of course, Rayuga have that big fat lead. Having the jungle, level it by 1 level has already been a huge difference. The fact that they are invading, Chocolate Chan alone invading. Ray also is gonna come here to try to fortify the backside, but other than that, Joji being forced out. I think he still got the retribution there, but that is gonna be very bad. The fact that the turtle here, I don't think Armageddon are gonna go for this contest, because that is a turtle to the side of Rayuga again.
Absolutely, it's like at this point the goal is already in their favor, and if anything, it's like better to play defensive, because with that kind of lead, it's difficult to actually try and contest. There will be a lack of damage as well as even sustain. But again, you can see the aggression coming out from Team Rayuga Esports, definitely pressuring even the jungle of Team Armageddon Esports. Yes, they are just trying to farm up pretty easily, but it's not going to be very much possible. Again, the AOG being used up to instigate that fight. The RW drop down as well, but it's not going to be enough. You can see so much damage being dished out onto his twin flame. He has to fall. Attraction Pearl does connect, but no follow-up coming through from the side of Team Rayuga Esports. Yes, you can see they want to go in for more, but still being careful that they should not be giving out any more gold to the side of Rayuga Esports. 6-0 is the score just 5 minutes into the game. This is not looking too good if you are Armageddon Esports.
Indeed. So basically, I think Armageddon are looking for, since they already messed up on that first turtle, I think they're going to play it very safe. And basically, the fact that Ito still haven't go down the drain with 1 death, I think they're going to funnel all their gold into him, try to keep him safe, because bot side here, something's about to happen.
Oh, the Black Dragon being used up just for a bit of zoning, but there's nothing out of that. It's like a big resource being out, good for the side of Armageddon Esports, but can they find any conversion? I don't think so because they're not looking at it. But again, top lane, Paulina has to be careful. He's getting a ton of damage, but still able to walk out. The minions will be cleared. No inhibitors being, not inhibitors, but no turrets being pushed so far means that both the teams are just fighting for the kills and the neutral objective. Apart from that, the macro of the game is not really being controlled by either of the teams. In terms of gold, of course, Team Rayuga Esports are leading it quite well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In terms of gold, they are very lucrative. But other than that, there could be another fight here unless both of the teams start poking. But I think it's best for Armageddon to stop fights for now because the fact that they are so way behind because some is happening right now.
Them locking down Rain. Out of that, the AOG onto the backline. Gonna be good for the zoning. The Appraiser Strat drop down, but not finishing too much. But again, Spicy will still on the twin plate. They're going for top down, will become the but don't feel they find a shot. And now they're all in the chaos. Spicy going for more. He finds himself a double, looking for himself a triple. He will take it down. And now he's dashing in and out, but the Flicker will be saving Ito. And with this, Ito will be taken down. It's not actually Ito, it's gonna be Swamp. Or yeah, Venus is not actually saving himself, but still, the almost a maniac, not really enough.
My God, Ryu, I actually have a feeling that Ito here might be, doing something in terms of his lead. The fact that he's just, getting close to Chocolate Channel already, still haven't died so far. They would take down this top, but not quite yet. They're leaving because they don't have enough minions to funnel it down in bot side. There is a Black Dragon being baited out. So far, they have already swapped lanes, which is definitely gonna give Ito a breather. The fact that he is not gonna be ganked often, which he is gonna be the saver of his team. The fact that, but he's going way too deep over here.
Absolutely, he does have the flicker though, but will it be enough if he gets engaged on? It's just, a little bit of dash. Apart from that, he could be in problem, and right now his team needs him. He needs to be farming quite steadily just to pick up the Sky Piercer, meaning that he wants to stack up those kills quite easily, but so far there are just 3 kills on the board, and the side of Armageddon Esports, they're not really having too much of an answer of the aggression the side of Team Rayuga have been giving, and so far the Turtles too have been in their favor as well. And if this Lord goes to the side of Rayuga as well, I think the equilibrium might just get broken down. But again, Ray takes a bit of damage. The shield unity will be there, locking him down. Does he find an escape? Yes, he does. But no, the Tornapod memory will be the death of him. And with this, Rayuga Esports will be losing one more member. Armageddon Esports pick up one more kill on the board.
Yeah, slowly but surely. There's a saying right here. But I feel like Armageddon have been, slowly, keeping tabs with Rayuga Esports in terms of lead. Sure, they have lost that first tier 1 on the bot, but look at that. They have the Lord advantage here unless Chocolate Chan comes and rotate, but I don't think they have the Black Dragon to kind of zone them out, so this is a free Lord for the side of Armageddon Esports.
Yep, and even with that goal lead, Rayuga Esports could not really convert that. Without the front line, it's going to be very difficult. And the Black Dragon Prom was already used. The AOG once again joining the party, but it's a 3v2 situation. Now down board. Again back. You can see 2 dual fights happening, but still Vishal will be walking out with the heal. But on the backline, Swen will be getting taken down. But Ito finds Chocolate Chan, but he too has to fall. A mega kill for Kevin Atar. And with this, Rayuga Esports, they are finally answering back. The Lord take the side of Team Armageddon definitely did, but again, Paulina with the vengeance will be walking out safely. The Lord needs to be cleared, and even the waves on the side lanes. So with this, I think Rayuga Esports should be finding a easy defense. Apart from that, Armageddon Esports, they lost quite a few members out there.
Yeah, in terms of Rayuga, they definitely got the big bug out of that. The fact that they finally take out the golden boy of Armageddon, that is Ito. One death for him, but still he's rocking out with the 3 items already. Having the Malefic Gun to make him a bit safer in terms of range, like a must item. He pairs it up with a Blade of Heptasis we see here. Yeah, he's going for the Sky Piercer, which kind of makes sense. The fact that they don't exactly have a lot of heroes that can go for the burst potential. So Ito is basically the one who is dealing the most damage right now. So seeing on the other side, we have a Harit going for the Divine Glaive, which I think it's a way better approach. The fact that Holy Crystal does go for pure, but Divine Glaive could be something here.
Oh, again, Ito, this time finding the kill onto his Spicy, the RWM, so well placed, and he could have been injured, but the danger was onto the side of Team Rayuga Esports. Again, AOG joining the party, but still, it's not really connecting way too often, but it's good just, for the zoning. But will it be enough for this Lord take? Because it's not going to be available. Oh, actually, the Lord is quite far away. Never mind. The list should be back up. But at the same time, like you mentioned, for Spicy, he's not going for the Holy Crystal. Instead, he went for the Divine Glaive. Is it really the right choice? Yes, maybe, but he does require more damage scaling than the penetration, right?
Yeah. But, the fact that they have Kevin Nater to deal the DPS, right? So I think they're just going for something that, out penetrates. And penetration in this game basically is, in terms of damage-wise, can go for the negatives. Once you get to the negative session, that gives you a huge chunk of damage boost. So I think going for a Divine Glaive and later with the Holy Crystal would be a better approach here. The fact that they have the entire map for Spicy to farm up, man, you can pick up a Holy Crystal or very early on. But as you can see, the Lord right now is going to be spawning in 20 seconds. Both of the teams are still looking good in terms of goal lead. Not much of a difference just yet, but I think it will depend on how they play out their macro right now. But the fact that Twin Flame is checking the bushes, it's gonna prove a very safe approach for Armageddon here. But on the bot side here though,
yeah, they're still trying to find a good engage, a good window of opportunity to take one member down or maybe two before the slot take. It's gonna be very important. The previous lot, it was in the hands of Armageddon Esports, no contention or no contest whatsoever. This time, Rayuga Esports looking much more prepared. They are in the vicinity, of course, but can they find the right, angle to go for this lot take? Is already down about 50% of his HP. Vishal with the Black Dragon form going in for the zoning. They will be getting locked in. Low HP. Wanna be Paulina, but can he walk out? The Petrify combo walking in, and there will be so much damage placed out of the RWM down there, but Spicy will pick up a kill. But Ito will take him down. The AOG connects with the Priestess Trap before that. Not gonna be enough. Chocolate Chan gets taken down. Now Kevin Tor finds himself a kill, but Ray gets taken down as well. It's gonna be trade after trade. Kevin Tor still trying to run away, but Ito is not really gonna let that happen alongside Josie. With this is a wipeout coming in the side of Rayuga Esports. Armageddon Esports now finds the Lord.
Finds the Lord at the same time. They find the perfect example to bait out the opponents, not giving them, too much of a cocky attitude there. The fact that Ito, or I would say Rayuga, played right into their hands. The fact that they were baiting the Lord so hard, I was kind of, worried that Rayuga would overcommit. But they definitely did, with Vishal going way too deep, especially way too deep into the tier 1. Because once you go for the tier 1, even though you're already a hunky level 14, tier 1 still does true damage. And that's going to end your HP bar eventually. But other than that, in top side, I think Armageddon are going to start, making a debris out of these tier 2s. Definitely on top side, Ito gets a huge chunk of gold for himself. But in terms of build-wise, I think Ito would be, sitting in a very good position of items. And then we have a blade armor onto the side of Armageddon Esports with Joji. The fact that that's going to be a deflector for the Kimi, because Kev won't be doing much if he goes way too ham. He needs to hold back with a bit of the pulses here. But another something happening here, Shun.
No, he will be able to dodge it out pretty easily. The Salmon Force dropped down once again, but Team Armageddon Esports says no, we do not want to fight. But still, right, you can see the gold shift slowly going into the hands of Armageddon Esports, and now they want to take the fights, like, in a way that, they can get the advantage, and because of that, Team Rayuga Esports are not really finding too much of an answer. They do not have many people that can actually mark down the backline, and Swain have been free hitting with RWM quite often because he's only popping it out after the Black Dragon form has been used. And even though they have quite a few members like Ray who can go to the backline, but can he take down the Eve? Not so easily, right? Because I feel he needs to frontline. Without him, even Spicy has to take the damage head on, and it's going to be very, very difficult. But so far, I think Team Armageddon Esports, they are playing it smart. They're not really, instigating quite useless fight. They're only fighting when there is an objective or when they find somebody that are pretty overextended, meaning that they just want to take those fights that can give them some kind of reward. Apart from that, no useless fighting around the map, guys. That's what you need to do if you're the top teams, if you want to win, and if you want to build your advantage around your team.
Yep, very true. Coming in from the Shin himself, the Ryu himself, and we see
Crazy.
some some of the items being baited out here and there. But of course, both of the roamers have to check the bushes. It's always a thing that has to be done if you don't have much vision around the map. That could lead to your team's downfall in terms of itemization. Everybody is going for like the 5th item right now. I think we are already approaching the 15-minute, the later phases of the game. The Lord will be strong in the top side, but I think Joji has it covered onto the bushes here. And looking so far, I think good that Ito picks up the Blade of Despair, which is going to be a very good thing for chunking. I think having it with a BOD and a Sky Piercer complements it a lot. The fact that both their unique passive go quite well, but that would be enough. But it only really determines about Rayuga Esports the fact that how Kev and Spicy are going to be playing it now, because they are the real damage dealer, but also another damage deal here.
Oh, the RWM popped down once again. The Zaman Force. Oh, they're locking them down. Swen will be falling.
Oh.
And even if they are trying to fight it down, Team Rayuga Esports are trying to do it better, but Chocolate Chan is really low. One hit away. But can they get that kill is going to be the question. Ray trying to run, but again, Josie gets gunned down in the hands of Kevin and Tor at this point. It's looked very chaotic. The Traction Pearls just misses out by a thin hair. Still, Rayuga Esports are respecting the damage can come out from Itos, and they are not really, closing the gap yet so far. But with this, I think Armageddon Esports might be a bit defensive without their jungler. They cannot take down this Lord quite easily.
Yep, not quite easy just yet because they have lost their retribution. Is that Joji? But they still have Chocolate Chan just up here. But it feels like they're gonna go for more fight here.
Yes, this time Ito gets shut down in the hands of Vishala, and one more kill. Twin Flames falls, and this is the fight for Rayuga Esports to win as they claim the Lord and also the advantage with this Lord push.
Indeed. That is a huge Fed Appraiser's Wrath we see dropping there, stopping the forces of Armageddon Esports from going way too deep there into the enemy territory. But anyways, I'm kind of surprised that the tier 1 still remains on the mid side here. The fact that it's already 17 minutes and nobody take down Armageddon's tier 1. But it just shows that the mid lane is not being touched, or maybe the mid laner is too good. Maybe Swain here does something, but of course, here goes just as I'm speaking way too early, the mid lane tier 1 disappears. But another charge on top side. It seems like there is some sort of a diversion play here on both the sides. It seems like our Armageddon are looking for a 2-3 split, but it seems like bot side here, they're trying to crack the inhibitor just here.
Oh, they still want to take one more fight. The Salmon Force drop down. The inhibitor again. The RWM there, but a bit to away. The AOG drops down as well. The Black Dragon form being used up to run, but he falls with the cages. Or beat it out quite heavily for both teams. Still, they're just trying to looking for the clear at this point. Armageddon Esports, they do not have that advantage anymore, and again they have to find that way back towards that lead, because the goal again being shipped to the side of Team Rayuga Esports, meaning that they can get the advantage. And at this point, I think Spicy is kind of hurting, right? You can see him having the most goal in this game, meaning that he has completed his build and even more.
Of course. Indeed. After having the full advantage of your items, it's gonna be a smooth sailing for Rayuga Esports, but Armageddon are still not making a smooth sailing for that, because they know how the other team especially works. But Ito there being a menace for the other side, but this could be a problem if Rayuga goes way too deep. But they did go for the blue steel, which I think Joji is going to need if he wants to cycle through his Unity shield. But that's all right. But Armageddon already losing their bot inhibitor is going to pose a very big threat. The fact that they have to look over the bot side to clear the gold-plated minions. So let's say there's like a huge fight at the top side. That could be a very, very bad thing. Very, very like, TLPH going for the famous backdoor, right? Because bot lane is already open. So that could also be a thing, but they don't have a Louis for that. But they can always have maybe Kev, but I don't think Kev deals that much damage to go for the base push. But it seems like Spicy forced out the Zaman Force here, and it seems like Ray is onto the chase. I think he is in trouble.
Oh, he might be in trouble, but able to run out with this help of the sprint. At this point, the Black Dragon also being baited out, meaning the side of Team Rayuga Esports actually have burned up quite a few resources. And this lot could be a very well 50-50. I think both the teams would want to fight that. The best part is, you mentioned the backdoor could happen, but it's onto the bot lane, so they can actually pretty much easily figure it out. All the skills should be available from Armageddon Esports. So if you're looking at the fight, there should be a fight in their favor until Rayuga Esports can bring enough time or buy enough time for the skills to be back up. But again, Shield Unity going in. But can he find the stun? Okay, he finds one on towards Ray, but it's not the right target. But again, there will be the immortality popped up, the AOG onto the back, but completely misses out the Zaman Force as well as the combo being dealing a lot of damage. Vishal falls for the damage of torn apart memory, and Spicy falls as well in the damage of Gwen, and more kills coming in the favor of Team Armageddon Esports as Ito picks up a triple, and Kevin and Todd completely zoned out by Twin Flame. Is doing the God's work all by himself, helping his team get that advantage. The waves are crashing down from the bot lane, so they need to clear it out. But with just one member surviving, can they clear it out? Is gonna be the question here, Bolty.
I don't know anymore, man. I think Kev still takes out the immortality, but for how long? You see Ito already damaging what?
Oh no, he still finds enough time, and Rayuga Esports are still in this game. No lot taken, no more minions. They should be able to defend.
Oh boy. I thought Ito was gonna play it safe, but it seems like he's not playing safe. He's gonna go for the base lock. This possibly could be the action.
Oh no! Sheesh, this is Team Armageddon Esports forcing their way in against Rayuga and claiming the victory. This is their match, this is their victory. And they scored the first point and actually moved to the 1-0 bracket. So ladies and gentlemen, what a game it was, and congratulations to Rayuga Esports. And seems like, oh, Polty just appeared. Where am I though? Why am I not there on the screen, man? Am I a ghost?
Shinru, the ghost of Tsushima, maybe? Or the ghost of
Crazy.
Mythic Showdown. Got a play-by-play. What a match, man. I thought Rayuga already had it. Maybe, like you said, like you predicted. Rayuga, we thought they're going to have it. But no, since you said Armageddon also are going to be a very tough opponent. The fact that they've been in the Mythic leaderboards, which means they're special, right? And yes, they're special. They make the epic comeback by bait. Basically, that I would basically say they are the master baiters, because the fact that they always force Rayuga to commit to fights, and eventually Ito out there chunking down with the HP, and for him to do it with a Brody is actually very impressive. The fact that the Brody relies a lot on positioning, and the fact that he has a lower attack speed, which means he's not dealing much damage as a DPS, but they're making it happen. So what are your takes on that, Shin?
I was thinking that Brody was kind of ball facing, but still, it actually works out pretty well. Ito was not really afraid to just pick for full damage build. And with the help of that, he definitely beat the war.
There he is. There he is.
There is a reason why we are talking about him so much, right? He will be the player of the match, the MVP of the game. And look at that build, man. I was talking, he did not go for the defensive item. He actually built one. It's going to be the Athena shield. Very important.
Very important indeed. The fact that you have to block out those, spooky dashes coming in from the Harriet, which is from Spicy, that is going to stop him from dealing too much damage at the same time. Have enough stacks to go for the torn apart memory, and Harriet without the, Winter Crown definitely won't be able to get all the shots coming in from Ito, which is the rich guy over here. And look at everything. The Kevnator also dealing a lot of damage, but he was the carry, of course, for Rayuga. The fact that he still takes out one on that very, red thread mode where they have to defend a lot. But I think Ito here just carried Armageddon Esports.
Absolutely, I think we also need to give props to Twin Flame for zoning out Kevnator away from the team fight, because of which Ito was able to just re-hit their opponents, and without their damage dealer, it's going to be very difficult, because Spicy was the first to actually get taken down, I believe. And after that, the entire team collapsed because there was nobody to deal the damage. There were just 3 tanky frontliners. What do you do with those, right?
Yeah.
And in a way, you can see that 3 of their members from the side of Rayuga Esports are getting, the carry, the sandbag, as well as the wingman. Fight that. just how the late game span out and how much spike did Ito get from those itemization as well as those free hitting. Like you mentioned, it was not a hero that can just have that high end or insane attack speed, but it's
Yep.
just the damage that he can dish out with those lost HP targets, because
Mhm.
every time he uses the torn apart memory, he's dealing damage with the HP that he has taken out. Those stacks are very important. So even if you can
Yes,
just
sir.
first hit with your skill and it connects to 3 or 4 members, you're getting almost 3 or 4 stacks pretty easily. So those things matter.
It very, very mattered. Compliment with the Sky Piercer. You do have the sandbags here, but I mean, even though they're the sandbags, eventually their HP is gonna dwindle down for the Sky Piercer to go really ham. And yes, sandbag or not, let's take it out. And that is the prophecy of basically what happens right now in this game. And I think Shinru here has a lot more to say.
Um, and this is very, very, very bad of you, just put me on the spot like I love you. So hey guys, the game, of course, like I mentioned, the early game should have been in the side of Team Armageddon Esports a little bit, but they lost their early game quite badly in a way that they were in the deficit, they were not having that goal lead. But despite that, I think they did not lose the hope. They were trying to
Yeah.
fight back at the right places, though. It was not just very random fights or at a very random spaces, because they were fighting to win the objectives. Yes, they did not get the turtles in their hands, but the first lot was in their favor. And in a way, slowly but surely, those leads, those kills, those shutdowns kind of added the gold, and Ito was able to farm up. And at some point, Swen was having a very, very good positioning with those RWMs. I think quite often he was able to catch 2 or 3 members, isn't it? So because of those things, the damage kind of adds up, because against those tanky heroes, the Eve performs really well. And all Ito needed to do was just last hit those low HP targets. And he did that pretty well. Might not be the highest skill in this game, but still, he was just pretty much the menace the side of Team Rayuga Esports could not get their hands on.
Indeed. And that pretty much, I think, wraps up this first match of tonight for the Swiss stage. We will be having like 3 matches, different casters. Not only me and Shin would be the ones always casting here. We are going to have variety, which I think especially in a dinner table, variety is the most important thing according to me. So yes,
Indeed.
we're going to be having that. And with that, I think Armageddon get the win. They're going to be moving to I'm pretty sure the round 2, right? Round 2, upper brackets. I'm pretty sure they will be fighting to whoever wins after this, giving the 1-0 bracket. And in there, as for Rayuga Esports, they'll go for the 0-1 brackets, how the Switch format goes. If you guys want to see how the format goes, you can always check out War Drum Instagram. They have uploaded a lot of instructions there that you can take, even if we casters don't provide the best information. But anyway, Shin, I think you can take it over.
Yes, thank you for watching this game, ladies and gentlemen. But more games are right on the way, like Goldie mentioned. So new set of casters, new set of teams, and new matches to watch. So don't go anywhere. Do stay tuned for those next games to come on your screen, of course. And with this, me and Goldie will take our leave for now. But hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the stream, because that's what gives power to the ML community and for us to love and grow this game together, hand in hand. So see you on the other side.
good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second game of the Swiss State 0-0 bracket. And after a mighty push and pull battle between teams Armageddon and Rayuga, where Armageddon came out on top and proceeded to the 1-0 bracket, we are back with match number 2. And this one is going to be between none other than Team Sacred Shrine versus Daku Sena. Two mighty names up in the Mythic leaderboard, fighting it out for that spot into the 1-0, because the losers will fall to the 0-1 bracket and lose one chance of being closer to the playoffs. This will be me, Sarah, alongside very beautiful and talented Zero.
I think the same goes to you, Sarah. You know, it is an honor casting with you after so long, but hey, we are here bringing you one of the exciting matches, right? It's Swiss stage, and it's the top teams that are playing against each other. So of course it's gonna be interesting when it's the best of one, right? So of course I'm very excited. The Sena versus Sacred Shrine, they are quite familiar with each other as well, and it's kind of like, what can we say? Friendly scrims between these two teams, and well, it's gonna be a really, really epic battle.
Yes, and the feeling that you there, like, these people are more of like, hey, let's just keep these scrims type of people go with you. Even since it's a BO1, there'll be more in the mood to not have much. However, we'll be able to see what really goes on in the minds of these players, because for now, as we all know, Mythic Showdown Season 2 is being hosted by War Drum Games, and the prize pool is for 4 lakhs INR with 2 lakhs diamonds. And there's also 1 lakh diamond giveaway for all the audience out there, so make sure to support the stream whenever and however possible. And with that said, Zevo, who do you think in today's games will be going in for a specific? Is it going to be a team fight or
That's an interesting question, because this current meta has been quite revolving around, forcing out team fights and mostly just sustaining out everything, since it's usually the rock hard frontliners that are having that much of sustain, and the mage being the main highlight in almost every match. So depending on how both the teams are gonna be drafting, I think it can go either ways. They can have a force out team fight, or they can just go for a pick off. Just something which kind of suits their game plan currently. So we might be able to see both. It's a 50-50 chance.
like on the hands of Sacred Shrine, I believe Art loves playing the Kalia, so they are usually more oriented towards the pick-off comms. But then again, with the revolving meta, like you mentioned, Fate loves to go in for the Arlot gold lane, the Hilda gold lane, even Lapu gold lane. CC, of course, a staple pick for all the teams out there, so we won't be mentioning that. But then again, on the hands of DS, they are more of team fight oriented. Like Peter, he is good on those control mages, and even Haitatsu love to play around the Garokacha or the chip in towards the team fights. So I think it will be a pretty equal match. Like you mentioned, definitely something to watch out for. Like one team can pick up on one hero and the other team is gonna be looking to pick up those two counters, definitely.
Yeah, certainly. And the thing is, both the teams, they have almost all of their cards laid out in front of everyone. So they would probably have done their homework as well, right? So they would be targeting the person which is a really, really huge menace. I would say in the current meta, it's usually the fighter, it's usually the EXP or the gold lane, which is, really hard to catch, right? Given Tang is just there doing his work. So for now, I would say they would want to be targeting Romcom, since he would be the one providing the most hindrance. So depending on that, they would want to go for a draft which has bit shine out through like it's they have been quite consistent in this kind of drop these days.
Definitely, like they have won out lands with this lineup and those drops. So definitely, like Sacred Shrine is a name that everyone looks up to with respect. And going up against Sacred Shrine with a new lineup into the very first game of the Swiss stage, that is something very intimidating. I'll tell you, like. I'm not even related to the team, but even I was scared for Daku right there. But it's alright, we'll see how they do. They've got some veteran players returning to the lineup this time around. Ryu will be making his debut into the competitive scene after a long time, so we'll see how that one goes for the side of Daku Sena into the jungle lane. Definitely a very interesting matchup, but along with that, Zebo, I think we have landed into the drafting phase, and the first bans from the teams coming out would definitely be the Kimi, the Kalia, the Grok, the CC, and the Lapu Lapu.
Yep, I think it's all really standard bans, but given that, you know, the opposing teams that they have banned out, it's really comfortable with all these heroes going around. It just, is a cherry on top since they're quite in the meta as well. So looking at the bans currently, giving out the Kacha would also be a bad thing for Sacred Shrine as well, since he has a lot of hindrance posing around these days. One of the top picks in the roam position, I would say. So of course they would want to go for that. But first pick priority would be the Lance, not any other fighter, but an assassin into the jungle.
I mean, I believe they are just trying to play around Ryu's trends, and Lance is definitely one of them. It has been for years now. I mean, come on. So they just locked in onto Lancelot on the first pick. Good choice, I would say, since it can counter out the Yisenshin, even the Hayabusa to a certain extent. However, the main threat, like you mentioned, definitely Rom-Com, because the Folius is still very open on board for the side of Sacred Shrine, and they would also be looking to lock in towards their mid lane, but instead they decide to go in for the Esmeralda and the Heave, completely denying Daku Sena the ability to pick up on the Esme on either of the lanes. So what exactly can DS go for here? Like mid lane, Lunox, that's definitely a very S tier pick option right here. But other than that, their goal in EXP, what is it going to be?
Apart from Lunox onto the mage, I would say Zushin is still there, but Esmeralda proves a really huge problem to her. So I guess that would be out of the question. But as a gold and the EXP, since they ban out the Lapu Lapu, there's still a chance that Uranus can be picked up, and there is still the Alot going around. Not to mention the Phobius as well, right? So they would want to go for that, but there we go. We get a Lunox and a Khalid, which can be flexed, but it would most probably be onto the roam position, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is Hitatsu on the Khalid, so yeah. The Khalid roam is something expected these days. However, with the amount of sustain that Sacred Shrine is looking to build up right now, most probably might lock in on the Fredrin up next. But no, they instead decide to go in for Van's signature Yisenshin. So it's like signature jungle versus signature jungle. So that is going to be an interesting matchup. Mid lane though, Lunox versus Eve. Eve is going to win it out definitely in the early game. As for the banning section up next, Team Sacred Shrine, they definitely can flex the Esmeralda to the gold, and I think since it's Fate, they will be locking it on for the gold lane. So to counter that, they might just pick up on a proper marksman, and reading into that, Sacred Shrine might be banning out on the Granger, possibly the Nathan, possibly the Iritel, any of those strong suits which Funny Valentine plays.
Honestly, if they would if they are gonna be forcing Funny Valentine to pick up the marksman, I think it would be someone that he is not comfortable with, right? So probably just ban out all of the EXP options these days that they have and just push him to someone with more range, so that the sustain from everyone is not enough for him to melt down. There's still the Nathan, which is quite a really viable option. But if they are, planning to have him use that, they probably have a game plan in their mind as well. Speaking about the Esmeralda, right? If Fate yes, he is more comfortable using it, but we can't forget that Romcom also uses Esmeralda, so they would, just flex it out according to the pick that Dakusena would be going for. And given that I do like that they've been outboard and Ruby altogether. The Yuzhong will also join them, so a lot of restrictions for the fighters are coming in from for both the teams. Last ban in the hands of Dakusena. Who will they mark right now? Because Art, he did not pick up the roamer yet, and since Khalid has been picked out, there is an element of surprise that they can go for.
The chip ban is something they can definitely go for here. Like Yasin Shin, he's got the Mountain Shocker for the global ultimate and the vision, and adding that with the chip ability to just teleport anywhere into the map, I think that could be a very smart strategy Sacred Shrine goes in for here. And if DS doesn't read into that, they instead go in for the Hilda ban. I mean, justified against the Lancelot jungle, you do not want those constant invades into your buffs. It would hamper the jungle quite a bit. However, you're leaving open a chip, and there is enough sustain, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, honestly, and the map is gonna be flying cloud, so there's gonna be a lot of brawl, fights coming on because every time you respawn, the movement speed gets a lot increased, and we never know, the fight can just go on and on and on until they're all exhausted. So that is still something that needs to be accounted, right? The flying cloud map, but I do like that they picked up the phobias for the Lancelot as well. The Infernal Pursuits are gonna be a bit of a problem for almost everyone if it hits. And keeping the final mystery would be the Rome. So there's still quite a really good option for that chip. But would they go for is the question, right? Still though, glue in the EXP, that is still a viable option.
I mean, it is a good option since Jazz is kind of comfortable on the hero itself, and since Yisenshin is the one in jungle, we'll definitely see a lot of glue ultimates coming in right on top of Yisenshin. And like we were mentioning, Funny Valentine on the Granger this time around, a PO Marksman on towards the goal, but that means Team DS has 3 squishies and only 2 frontliners, while the side of Sacred Shrine will easily have 3 front line. So that is going to give the Yisenshin a lot of edge into the team fights mid-game onwards. Once he picks up the Hunter Strike and the War Axe, it's just going to be a clean snowball for him because Yves is going to get the range out very well. The Real Manipulation is going to zone out practically everyone. But then there's going to be Art with his engages, maybe the high loss, maybe the chip, the Kalia is taken out of the ward, and so is the Garut Kaja, maybe even the Jawhead. We never know what this guy is planning in his head.
Honestly, he's usually going around with the Kalea pick, but of course, Minotaur has been his pocket pick for quite some time, and I think that is quite the final piece in this puzzle right now because they have a lot of AoE, except for Phobius, of course. Bit is gonna be the main, right? He's gonna be the main puzzle here. He's gonna be laying out his board so that the rest, the Esmeralda, the Minotaur, they can all have that setup onto their hands. And if this all connects equally, it's gonna be a lot problem for the side of Team Dakusena.
Definitely a very strong composition coming in from the side of Sacred Shrine. A lot of sustain as well. While DS, they will have to protect their Granger and Lunox if they want to deal out the damage. However, we are going to jump into the Land of Dawn very soon, and we'll see what both of these teams are capable of with the current meta, the current picks. Minotaur, definitely something to be looked out for. The heals are insane at the moment, and those anti-heals will need to be picked up very early on. So ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be Dakusena versus Sacred Shrine.
Yep, certainly fighting it out in this Swiss stage best of 1 series, of course. There is room for mistakes, but they want that point in their name. So both the teams are going to be trying it out really Well, and I would say the glue might be one of the best hindrance that Daku Sena would be providing. So they kind of need to be careful as well. But here we go into the game, Sarah.
Of course, welcome to the land of dawn, ladies and gentlemen. We are gonna see some amazing fights into this new battlefield, the new patch, the new fights. Everything is gonna make a difference. Both the junglers are going to be starting off onto their blue buffs. DS definitely looking for a quick early EXP rotation for the total advantage, while Sacred Shrine would be looking to go around the goal lane and then move towards the turtle, providing a little bit of that early game rotation for that Esmeralda.
Yep. Honestly, I like the mid aggression that's coming in, but Haitatsu there though. Just a little bit of poke around the bush, right? Still, would they are they planning to go for more though?
They might actually, and actually, Ryu here did miss out on the Lethal Wanderer, so that is gonna make a difference. But Bid in a bit of a skirmish right there on mid game, but he does make it out alive. That shield really helps him stay alive in the early game. Yves is just such a broken hero in the mid lane. But if we take a look at the the emblems, we will see both of them, both the teams, in the very standard emblems right here. However, the Lunox has gone in for the Rupture instead of the Inspire, so she might just face a little bit of cooldown issues. But other than that, I believe it's just standard emblems from both the teams.
Yeah, honestly, I like that they took out the Wilderness Blessing for the heroes which has less mobility, so that they can rotate around the map quite faster, and it just helps them pick up other type of spells altogether onto their hands. But I like the early engages from Daku Sena to not let Sacred Shrine get the upper hand, but Ryu out there cut low. Still, would there be an engage? It's time for the turtle though.
Yep, and there we go, the early engaged Mountain Shocker comes in. Ryu's going to have to make it out alive, and even the Brilliance gets popped in. Ryu, though, in a bit of a pinch, and Haitatsu will be the one losing his life. Jazz trying to dodge the Infernal Pursuit, but Fate here with the early rotation. Easy dominance coming in all the way from the goal lane, while Bid will be securing a kill onto Ryu.
Oh my goodness, early engaged from the side of Sacred Shrine to prevent the turtle from getting taken up, and that would be a free one. So a really good objective coming in, and not to mention Fate having the rotation around. That's kind of the main issue for having a fighter into the goal lane. You can just abandon them out because they're not that item dependent much, unlike the marksman. But
the quick little ultimate coming in from Lunox, and yeah, that's going to be a quick easy burst on the Esmeralda. But mind you, this is just the early game, and pickoffs like those are very, very common. But as the game progresses, who exactly is going to protect the Granger when the falling star moon is going to land on him every single time?
Not to mention, it can't really be interrupted from anyone from the side of Daku Sena. So Granger has to be careful for during his positioning out all around. He has to dodge a lot of AoEs that's gonna be coming onto his side, because he's a marksman. He's gonna be getting marked down quite a lot, and the only escape skill that he has is his Rondo and the Flicker, which can be spammed as much as we think it can be. So he has to be really careful. But I like that Fate, he is not stingy with his resources around, because the more early engage that they can take on, the more better it is for their side.
True. And here, Van doesn't have the Mountain Shocker and is looking for an engage onto Ryu, possibly. Does still have the Mountain Shocker stun ready onto him. Lands it. Ryu gonna be caught out low. Thorn rolls into the escape, but the Minoan Fury is gonna land onto 3 while Peter takes down Van Satoru. They are looking for more, though the Brilliance is gonna land perfectly. Only one casualty, that too from the side of Sacred Shrine, but Romcom, he's here for the backup. A little bit late, but he makes it to the team fight. But now he's gotta go back since the glue is already up there into the mid lane.
Yep, of course. First gold leaderboard in the hands of Valentine. Still looking to engage.
But Peter is gonna be caught out low. Ryoga manipulation lands 2 seconds too late, but Fate is gonna secure the kill. Funny Valentine low here.
Oh my goodness. I mean, look at the way that Fate is engaging as of now. Even Jazz, they are still not stopping and leaving the turtle on for Ven Satoru to handle because they trust his retribution. It was a 1 versus 1 for the side of jungle, and he was able to secure it while the rest of the team was having their brawl out onto the top lane, but right now Van Satoru might be caught up in the hands of Ryu. Out there, Thornbrew getting popped out. He will be taken down. That was quite a good catch up from the side of Daku, but it's not still enough. Looking at the emblem, looking at the itemizations as well, almost of the first one has been done, but real world manipulation again, Sarah.
Oh, definitely. Bit is securing those kills left and right, and the damage potential right from the early game on an Eve is so unnaturally high, I would say. That too on a glue, that's something amazing coming in from Bid right there. Like, he is melting down even a glue and a Khalid, no matter where they are. And onto the top side, Team Sacred Shrine, they already found a turret, and look who took the turret. It's an Esmeralda. You would naturally expect a Granger to find the turret first, but hey, surprises, surprises.
Surprises, of course. And I like that they are going for the objective gameplay rather than forcing on a team fight. But once again,
definitely can see something coming in. Haitatsu has to escape. Glue will find Artorio in the middle of that team fight. Out of everyone, Romcom dives in too deep with the Infernal Pursuit. Van trying to join in the team fight will take Haitatsu low, but both the teams are going to disengage safely before the turtle comes up.
Yep, they have to be careful not to take unnecessary team fight before the turtle, especially for the side of Daku Sena, because they are quite low on the economy as well. Not much, but still enough to make a big impact. And they do need their golds to be able to deflect all of these damages that is going to be coming from the side of Sacred Shrine. Not to mention, they need to prioritize on those anti-heals because of Minotaur and the Esmeralda. You can't be joking with your heals going around, right? But we see an engage.
Definitely, and honestly, just a little bit of friendly skirmish coming in, but the shields from Fate are already starting to be annoying for Funny Valentine right there. There have been innumerous Grangers who have faced the same fate as Fate is giving to Funny Valentine here, and there we go. The turtle has been secured, and another engage might just come in. Romcom trying to go in with the Infernal Pursuit, but will back off and just secure the buff for his team.
Yep, not too much of an overextension. Sacred Shrine, they are playing it out really safe for now because one mistake from their side and it's gonna be a game turner for the side of Daku Sena. Not to mention, oh my goodness, Peter though getting melted out by Van Satoru. Goal difference, but still another engage, hopefully.
Ryu here, very low before the Thorn Rose hits, is gonna get taken down, and as we can see, Fate is just dancing in front of their eyes. Turret damage just getting tanked by him like it's nothing, and Funny Valentine is rendered helpless. He doesn't have the space he needs to try and get the Rhapsody shots. This is what I meant when Sacred Shrine has 3 frontliners, but there we go, the quick little early engagement. Lone Fury right under the inhibitor turret. They're taking a lot of damage though. Jazz here will find the ultimate onto Romcom, but will get caught out in the middle of 5 people, and Peter is the one who gets taken down instead. Glue will still make it out alive.
Of course, Romcom having the Radiant Armor in his hands as well. So the Chaos Assault from Lunox is not going to be hurting that much, given that he's going to be the front line, but still. Mid lane.
They're just targeting the inhibitors for now, Zemo. Like, the Lord is up in another 25 seconds, and if SS wanted, they could definitely have just ended the game without the Lord at this point. However, DS though, they are trying their best to hold as strong as possible. But the amount of crowd control, poke, and sustain that DSS has right now, it's just too much for anybody from the side of DS to handle it. Look at Jazz, even he is getting poked out from so far. He isn't able to catch Van in the middle of team fights or even Bid, despite Yi being such an immobile hero. The cooldown reduction onto that first kill from every single poke, it's just a little too much for anybody from the side of Daku Sena to catch up to.
Yep. Honestly, with those itemizations, he's gonna be melting down quite a lot as well. That lantern and the glowing one. I think though both of them are more than enough to have a really huge impact for towards the side of team Daku Sena, right? But surprisingly enough, Fate is still in the gold lead in the gold ranking as well. Funny Valentine is not quite far off yet, but he has not been able to land much hits as expected because of his ability to not melt around much. So he needs to find an equal footing with bottom lane.
Oh, Glue finds the ultimate though onto Romcom this time. When Fury lands, Ryu caught in a pinch and he'll get taken out instantaneously by Fate. The damage is too much, as well as the sustain. Jazz has to run from there, using up the flicker so early. And there we go, the brilliance comes in from Peter, but the base is getting chunked down every single second. Haitatsu trying to find up a set there, but it's not going to be enough. Artorio just defending his minions like anything. Another falling star moon onto Peter. They gotta recall to base. They need their HP back. The minions are charging in from every single direction. There's 3 on top, there's 3 on bot, and the Mountain Chakra lands onto Funny Valentine this time, but it's not gonna be enough to take him down. DS might just have defended this successfully unless Sacred Shrine decides to go in for the re-engage. There's still another minion wave coming down the mid. Jazz trying to defend it. Artorio gets the knock up onto 2. Are they gonna take down Haitatsu? Yes, they do. The brilliance gets popped out by Peter once more, but Satoru completely melting them. And Valentine finds the shutdown though. Minnow and Fury right into the fight, but Artorio gets caught out here. The flask saves his life, but Fate, the man, the myth, the legend, completely demolishing the backline, zoning them far away while Bid secures a kill onto Ryu. Jazz gets taken down. Fate once more with the falling star mode right inside the base. The minions are here. Flicker from Peter, but it's gonna be enough to defend the wave. He just isn't getting to go in, go out. Nothing is coming out of this fight, but Funny Valentine just gets taken down just like that. Peter getting melted and will get taken down by Bid. The minions are all here. It's a wipeout from the side of Sacred Shrine as they secure the base in this best of 1-1-0-0 bracket.
My oh my, what a final battle for the base to be defended. Oh my goodness, the amount of time it lasted out. Daku Sena, they were trying their best to defend, but they were not able to. It's too much for them to deal with, right? And especially Fate with all those falling star moons. I get it. His cooldown has been reduced to too much that he has been spamming it around, and the thing is they are not able to deflect those altogether, so they were just getting taken down one by one like a domino altogether. I mean, what can we say there? The engages from Artorio as well, that Minotaur, the AoE Minnow and Fury was just too much.
That is what I mentioned. There's, of course, it's Bid with the MVP. It's a heave. You've got 3 frontliners and you're an Eve. Oh, you're chilling in this one. That's just how good that composition was right here. And of course, I mentioned you. Even though DS had the comfort picks, they had the Granger, they had the Lunox, it just wasn't enough because there's 3 damn frontliners and one of them is a healer with the Flask of Oasis. No matter what damage you deal, it is not enough for you to take them down. And the fact that DS didn't even have, proper shred, they only had the Lunox for the burst. Funny Valentine wasn't even able to deal as much damage as he wanted. Like, look at that, 9k from a Granger and 10k from an Esmeralda. Not much difference, I'm telling you. However, it just makes a difference in the team fights if your main damage dealer can't even reach the backline to deal the damage.
Of course. I mean, they were dependent on the Granger and the Lunox altogether. Lunox, however, she did melt quite a lot, but not enough, right? And the amount of zoning that Sacred Shrine was providing towards them was just overwhelming. yeah, the Granger was not able to keep up with all those massacre that was coming in on towards them as well. Not to mention Khalid, he did land his Raising Sandstorms here and there a bit, but not as much of impact that was provided because of all the economy difference and also the positioning as well.
Sadly enough, the glue though onto the EXP lane did try his best. Like he was there for every single team fight, and he was trying his best to mark down Yves as well as the Ascension. But somehow it just didn't work out. And ironically enough, everyone from the side of DS tried to deal the damage, but that Yves pick, that one singular pick, just rendered every single one of them so useless. Like after the glowing one, they were forced to recall comeback every single team fight.
Yeah. Honestly, the sandbag for Glue kind of makes sense because he was the one, being at the front line, soaking up all the damage that Sacred Shrine was providing them, right? So, given the fact that there were too much damages and engages that were coming, Dakusena, I would say their frontliners were lacking a bit. As you said, it was 3 versus 2 during the draft altogether. So it makes a huge impact when you have a team fight that is going around, especially in this current meta.
Sure. And with that, this would be game number 2. We will be back soon with another one in just a few minutes while we set it up. And this was me, Sarah, alongside Zebo, of course. And SS took away the victory. They're into the 1-0, while DS will have to fight it out once more in the 0-1 bracket. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be taking our leaves, but stay tuned.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Mythic Showdown Season 2, brought to you by War Drum Games and in association with none other than Vizta Games and MOBA Legends 5v5. So, here we are finally on to the third game for the night, and this is going to be a round robin, and it is going on between two mythical teams this time. It will be between Team Vnom Esports on to the left side and Team Elusivity Esports on to the right side. So, I'll be your caster Itami for this match. I actually will be the co-caster. I'll be the analyst, and on to my left it is none other than Ash TZ. So long time no see. It's been a while since we casted together. Ash, welcome.
Of course, the last time I believe it was Queen's Legacy, and then right now we are back into the first casting together at Mythic Showdown Season 2, MS2, we call it. In one of the professional league, I can say, for India right now. Everything is so well till now, and I hope everything will goes well in the future as well. But currently, we are having the mashup team Vnom Esports versus Team Elusivity Esports. Both of the teams belongs to Mythic Leaderboard, as my friend mentioned it already. So I want to say that Elusivity Esports has been there in the Mythic Leaderboard since a very long time, and right now they're actually one of the second best team of India, if you'll actually see, because they are actually competing in each and every tournament. They're going in each and every LAN, getting that runners-up position, but still they're working so hard and great with their lineup, and their potential is so high. So do Vnom Esports as well, because they are they're not into the scene that much, but into the Mythic Showdown, we see all the Elite Leaderboard teams as well as all the Mythic Leaderboard teams fighting with each other to get that spot on for them. That is the glorious spot of the champion, of the victor. So let's see who will be having the fun in the Swiss stage, day number 1, if I'm not wrong, Itami. So we are proceeding to the draft section, and you are seeing right now in the panel there is a lot of bans are coming in, as well as the picks. Gatot Kacha is the new meta, we can say, as well as the Kimi. So both of them, if they are in the same side, just like Gatot CC or Gatot Kimi or Gatot Alice even, this things happens a lot, gives a lot of trouble to the opponent side. So do you think like Alice might come into the side of Team Vnom Esports at this point, because they do have the Gatot Kacha?
It is actually possible because Alice can be quite of a priority pick onto the EXP because of the setups, and after the revamp she has been quite much onto the priority onto the EXP scene. If she is not onto the ban section, you can just prioritize her, but the downfall for the Alice would be she will be requiring those defense items in order to be more sustainable onto those team fights. So before, Alice is kind of squishy. She might not be able to contribute that much, but onto the later phase as well as onto the mid-game phase, that is where the Alice is going to shine. But Vnom as well as Elusivity, they have already progressed quite well with the draft, and Haya as well as the Xbox. So most probably Vnom are yet to pick out the jungler. So it is kind of understandable. They just decided to go out with the Xborg and the Hayabusa ban. So Vnom Esports still, they are trying to prioritize onto the goal lane, or let's see onto the EXP, because the Esmeralda is still of a flex pick here. She can be going onto the goal as well as onto the EXP because of the gold lane adjustments we recently saw onto the patch. The gold consumption, like the gold, has been decreased out quite well, and it's not just the marksmen farming it out. It can also be the fighters who can go onto the gold, and once they get some of the core items, they will be able to contribute a lot when it comes to the river rotations as well as onto the team fights. So we are going to be progressing with the second, picking phase, and I think Elusivity as well as Vnom, they are quite updated with the meta. And speaking of the Alice, this time she is getting prioritized.
Yeah, ban out the Lucas as well, and Alice too, as you mentioned. That is the thing. I mean, the Blood Ruin and the Gatot Kacha's AOG is literally a deadly combo nowadays, just like Curtain Call. In Curtain Call, you are actually acquiring 2 people, but in Blood Ruin, you can actually acquire 4 people in that zone. The AOE is too high. It can actually stun out 4 or 5 people even. And at the same time, if the AOG comes up, it will be a disaster for the opponent side. So banning out the Alice is a very nice choice coming out from the side of Elusivity. As you mentioned, the Esmeralda pick, I'll also say the Lapu Lapu pick is so same as well, because you're not sure the Lapu Lapu is going into the goal or into the EXP. So that is the main thing right now. We don't know what is coming into the goal, what is coming into the EXP, because all these fighters can be acquired in the goal. But there you go. Oh my goodness. It's more like the alpha. And this is what I'm seeing for the first time. in this Mythic Showdown Season 2. And Bext, I can't say this is the best pick or not because he got the skin, might be having the skin buff, but still, Thammuz into the EXP against the Alice. Is the queen there, and the servant will be serving the master, not this time, but will be taking on a 1v1 fight with the master. So who gonna win it, Itami? Is it the master or the slave?
It's actually been a while since I did saw a Thamus as well as an Alpha onto the scene. Actually, a year ago, when the Alpha Matilda combo was viable, the Alpha was prioritized a lot onto the jungle. So this time, I think Vnom Esports, they are quite updated with the meta too, because Alpha is a true damage dealer, and true damage works really well when you are going up against a utility kind of a draft, against a utility. So they are doing out pretty well too. But Elusivity has decided to, Godspeed decided to go out with the assassins. That is one of the things he's really comfortable with, and it is apparently a Bakshia onto the roam. So the Fanny, she needs to be making sure that the purple is not invaded. If she is able to do it, then the Fanny will be a cherry on top for the side of Team Elusivity. Let's see what's gonna happen.
Okay, I mean, you have the Gatotkacha, you have the Lapu Lapu though, but I don't feel like there is someone who can actually give some hindrance to the remnants of this Fanny being there in the land of Dawn right now from the side of Elusivity Esports. It's more like the mobility is so high, and for that, you don't have that counter to actually go against the Fanny, other than the AOG or the second skill of the Gatotkacha can actually stun out the Fanny there, or you're gonna say that like Farsa having a bullseye taking out the Fanny, so it's not so easy at this point. And at the same time, if you're gonna talk about the pick-off combo, it's more like onto the Elusivity right now because they do have the Blazings, they do have the Blood Ruin, so it's more like the Esmeralda and the Alice really gonna have bring a really hard time for whole Vnom Esports at this point because Esmeralda can actually go for a 1v4 situation. And now you're gonna see that it is the time for the glorious pathway, not for the high loss, but for the Mythic Showdown Season 2 Swiss stage is on. And we're gonna see the Vnom Esports versus Elusivity Esports going against nerve to nerve, neck to neck, to fighting against each other. One team will be rising as the winner from this stage, and who it will be, Elusivity or Vnom, because this is a BO1 series. You have one chance to shine, and let's see who will be taking on the shine and who will be getting out with a defeat. Okay, the early game skirmish here coming out from the side of Team Elusivity Esports as expected before. Kimi will be winning the first early phase against the first, of course. But what is happening in the bot side is Reaper versus Corey QT. The slave and the master are right now performing well at the EXP lane, and it is more like both of them were about to take it off, but it's a chance that they doesn't got out and still being there, and right now got reason back into the action. And we're gonna see that obviously that the lethal lantern will be acquired by the side of Team Elusivity Esports at this point, and it is the time for the first turtle to come in soon. And before that, Bakshia will be giving out the zone onto the jungle area of Vnom Esports. Kelly got the level 4 mark right now with Fanny as well. It is Godspeed versus Kelly into the turtle side, and I believe that before the turtle, I believe they might gonna go for a gank onto the Lapu Lapu, but onto the bot side, it is the mage, the mid laner, and the EXP laner Reaper going against Corey Cutie. Slaver of HP might be taken out. He's getting some force swing there. Goes with the blood out, but the Spear of Alpha comes in, and it will be the first blood for Team Vnom Esports, and it will be Kylie who will be taking it out into his hand. And right now they'll be going for the turtle. A little bit late rotation come out from the side of Madara. And that was the reason Team Vnom Esports acquired the first blood in this Swiss stage game. And there you go, the Feather Airstrike coming in from the backside. AOG comes out, he goes in, Godspeed falls down, but the turtle will be slain by Senjo. What a class still comes up, Blood Ruin, my goodness, come back from Corey Cutie and will be securing the kill onto Shiny. My goodness, this is what you want. I mean, you take it out and then you went for the revenge from the very first minute of the game.
Blood for blood, and it will be Team Elusivity somehow able to get the turtle for the side as well. But Senju with the clutch, man, even if Godspeed did fell off onto that process, they were able to acquire the turtle. So the lead still extending for the side of Team Elusivity. And in terms of the macro, they do have the advantage, and level advantage is definitely with Kelly. He did got the first blood onto Cody Cutie onto there. So he will be having that much of an advantage, at least for now. But when it comes to more of the team fights, I think Vnom Esports might actually stand a chance onto that. But you never know unless the next gank is going to be happening. And speaking of ganks, the dangerous grass map is going to be giving out a lot of, skirmish as well as sneaky kind of plays from either of the sides. And Corey is also taking his time in terms of the initiation, but it's just the poking going around. Falling Star Moon.
Falling Star Moon was there, but still, it will not be viable to take out the Lapu Lapu. He's kind of strong as well, a tanky man there onto the top side. Therefore, nowadays, we're not seeing the squishy goal laners to come into the goal lane. It is more like the fighter meta still going on with the mid meta coming in, because Senju do have the Kimmy, and we do want to see the builds though, because it's more like is he making out that Sky Piercer, or it's just the normal build of Kimmy? But there you go, what a way to goes in with the cables, and it's just a poke though. But now the second turtle coming in. Before the first turtle, if you remember, Itami, what just happened? I mean, it was the AOG who took out Godspeed from the turtle fight, but still Senju managed to secure the turtle. But this time, is that happening, or it is the Godspeed who will be clutching it out from the hand of Kylie?
And the other thing is, Senju actually decided to prioritize the Sky Piercer first, and Godspeed also getting the hands onto the Heptases. So the first item prioritization has already been done, and there is Team Vnom Esports as well responding onto that. But the turtle contention has already begun. They are trying to make sure the pokes as well as the zoning is coming up, but Godspeed is onto opposition. He might come up.
Blood Drains once there, but Kelly will be securing the turtle with the retribution. But right now, the Lapu Lapu with the rotation will be securing the kill there. Corrigate falls down in the hand of the Tamos. In the meantime, they're going for another skirmish. Senju still attacking on from the backside. It will be the Flicker, which will be baited on. And now they're going into the safer position, but it will be Gambart. Will be going in, taking out Senju's level of HP. Force swing comes of Kelly. Not only the turtle, but will be getting the hand on the Crisis to send him into the heaven side. What a fight. 4 into the micro, 1 into the turtle. That is the macro. Everything settled for right now for the side of Vnom Esports. The remnants, the presence of all these players is really deadly for right now to Elusivity Esports.
Exactly, good zoning as well coming up from their side. So they did make sure the turtle contention was done, and they were the ones who were able to have the last laugh onto that. As well as, as soon as the initiation was done, I think it was the fact that the zoning as well as the poking was coming up from Shinny, and as well as Reaper just diving onto the backsides and making sure the initiation would not be done by Godspeed even if he had the blue buff. So the Fanny here, even if she's able to acquire it, it is kind of a struggling kind of a factor. I think she will be able to acquire it, and there is no ambush coming up from the side of Team Elusivity Esports as well as from the side of Team Vnom Esports. But the towers just goes down for the side of Team Vnom once again, and Scarium Bass just comes up from the Kimmy as well, and they just decided to go back, and looks like Team Vnom Esports, they might be trying to come up onto initiation. They actually might force a fight onto the mid, but the towers have been, the minions have been taken down, and they just go back, but Sini just goes back as well, and the push priority has been done from Godspeed. He is, getting the visions as well as he is rotating everywhere around just to make sure that the push objective is quite equal, even if you're not leading onto the gold. And I think it will be an uncontested turtle for the side of Team Vnom Esports. Once again, skirmish onto the mid side, Feather Air Strike being used out.
Yeah, being used out with that. We're gonna see that the turtle will be slain. Spear of Alpha comes in. Corey Cutie, 3 members right now trapping on to Kelly, but Kelly will be fine because it will be the follow-up coming out from his team, and the turtle slain will be easily done without any scratch onto each or any of the member from the side of Vnom Esports at this point. This is so good. 6-4-2 is the score. Not increase into the micro section, but into the macro. Another turtle got added. So it's more like with the tier, and there you go. Oh my goodness, Feather Airstrike comes up, and Senju goes in there. A little bit overextension will be pricey for Cambot, and Cambot falls down in the hand of Senju. This is the redemption, this is the revenge, sweet one, we can say about. But onto the bot side, it's a 1v1 going in. Esmeralda goes inside the tier. It is the natural counter of the Lapu right now taking on him, and it is the Crisis versus none other than official Yashu going in there. They just, remarkably changed out their lane there. But now a trapping maybe comes up from the side of Team Elusivity. No, it's just a poke though.
Yeah, Yasuo actually being the wingman for the side of Team Vnom Esports as well. So, his team fight contribution is definitely there. And look at the goal difference. Even onto the room, I think Vnom Esports do having the advantage onto there and onto the gold lane. It is the golden difference is not that much, but overall gold might be the difference maker. Reaper is quite low onto HP, but Godspeed will still not be able to do the work done. The execution is not going to be done because Thamus is way too tanky compared to before. Even if the Vengeance was popped out, I think this time the Lord would be prioritized from the side of Team Vnom. In terms of the team fight, I think Team Elusivity still can bounce back if the initiation as well as the execution is right. But for now, they are not having the advantage. Madara might be taken down. The bravest fighter comes up.
Yeah, the Brave Spider comes up, and this time it will be Madara who's getting cornered there, but he still finds a way back. Senju right now giving a lot of damage with a continuous burst. There's sliver of HP. Godspeed goes in, finds a kill onto the force sign. In the meantime, Kurikuti falls down as well. Madara still surviving at a sliver of HP. AOG comes up, and there you go. Madara falls down. It is the Shinny, but now Shinny will be taken down as a revenge coming out from the side of Elusivity Esports. Two-man cornered him, take him down, annihilated him out there, and in the meantime, it's a loss still. Let's see what will happen if Fadi goes in. Godspeed with the retribution, with the clutch still onto the Lord. Not only that, finds the kill onto the Tammuz as well, but the force swing comes up and he goes down, but doesn't matter. He got the neutral objective into his hand, the main one, the inferior Lord, into his hand.
Yeah, even if, oh my god, onto the bot, the fights were still going around, but Godspeed was aware of the fact that a lot would be prioritized from the side. It was more like a bait onto the bot, and they did make sure the jungler was not joining, but Godspeed was just waiting for the right opportunity, and somehow, some way, Elusivity Esports will be able to buy themselves some time. I think the lot would be defended, but still a good initiation as well as good plans coming up from the side of Team Elusivity. There might be an engage coming around onto the bot, but still the Lord is up and they are stalling enough time to get some towers onto the other lanes. And I think this time around the defense would definitely be done, but Vnom Esports needs to make sure onto the mid.
That was so quick onto the first. AOG comes up there. Oh my goodness, Madara falls down 1-for-1 right now. The trade is, but still they're taking on the fight. The Skirm is still going in there in the sliver of HP right now, taking down their trap down mechanism. Comes up, Godspeed goes in, finds a kill with the shield cable. Ripper comes up as well. Crisis falls down 2-for-2. Now they're cornering up the Korikuti, and Ripper will be ripping up Korikuti there, but it will be Senjutsu. He goes in with the Mega, and now at the sliver of HP, this will be the bravest fighter coming out from Yashu official, and the official will be taking out Senju with the bravest fighter and will be securing the kill and will be offing the little bit of tempo which was rising from the side of Elusivity Esports at this point.
4-for-2, man. The sandbag definitely being out Shinny from the side of Team Vnom. The damage took was way too high. Godspeed just goes in, gets the kill onto the Farsa carry, but he was not able to escape onto this one. Even the flicker was not baited out.
I believe that Team Elusivity Esports really worked well with the macro play there onto the Lord when they went for the clutch still. But then, Itami, that fight was not necessary, I believe, because it was like the Lord was gone. And if you're taking up a fight, you're losing out some members as well. And in the process, you're also ditching some gold to the side of Vnom Esports. They're already high into the micro side. They're already high into the macro as well. Oh my goodness, Senju baited up the flicker there. Finds his way back and on. But now the corner comes in with the AOG comes up inside the tier. Senju goes back, but it will be Godspeed going in. Yashu falls down. Matara Shinny will be taken out there. The Tosa's push is huge, but Kelly goes in with the first swing. Finds a kill. Then Spear Alpha coming in. Senju right now targeting on. And it will be a shutdown onto Kelly after a long time. Senju right now taking on the fight, taking on the glory for Elusivity Esports. He's the X Factor. He's the man out there.
Definitely the main damage dealer as well as the one who is getting the job done for the side of Team Elusivity. Oh my god, Godspeed was trying to go in for Reaper. Thankfully, he did have the vengeance. He will be buying enough time, and this time I think it will be Elusivity Esports once again getting the neutral objective. That will be the Lord. No signs of contention, but maybe the Gatur Kacha might just go in with the AOG. He does has it on the cooldown. So Kelly is not onto the scene. He might try to dive in, but there's a team fight. Bravest Fighter goes back and they decided to disengage. Shini tries to go in.
Yeah, good decision. You shouldn't go in right now because the Lord is coming in soon and you need to actually secure the Lord, defend it up. That's the main plan should be. And in the meantime, it is Team Elusivity Esports who should go for that mid rush because they're yet to take out a mid lane tier. Because the mid lane tier, when it will be falling down, the expansion will be there and you can actually take up more fights and can win the fights as well, because now you're into the track, you're online, you're taking on the fights, you're winning the fights as well. Every traits are onto your side. You got the two lords, the first inferior one and now the mid one, and then you might gonna take out that mega lord as well. But now if the still cables go, then Slaver fetch me. Yashu official will be fine, nothing gonna happen to him. But it is Godspeed who needs to go back, recall back to the base, because he's really vulnerable at this position. But it will be the defense onto that tier 1, but it will be falling down easily because it's already 14-minute mark. Feather strike comes up, a lot of burst speed going in there. It is Madara goes in there, AOG comes up, Korikuti falls down, Senju goes in, Chini as well. 1-for-1 is the trade, the Lord coming on to the top side, nobody's there to clear it out, and Esmeralda will be going in for the lead. And let's see if he can actually go for the fight or not. He's getting cornered there by two people. He's getting gapped out. And Reaper once again ripped out the heart of the Esmeralda inside the tier, inside onto the top.
I think in terms of the towers, they did win it out, but losing, kind of overextending onto the fights, just losing out your side laners at this point would not be quite worth it. But there is still enough time for the death timers to go up, and I think they will be able to contribute onto the next Lord fight coming up. But the thing is, if Elusivity as well as Team Vnom Esports try to contend out for the Lord, if it would be better that they took a fight and they are able to get the zoners that have been coming out from both of the sides. It could be from the side of Team Elusivity as well as it could be from the side of Team Vnom Esports as well. But looking at the itemizations, looks like most of the items, it has been prioritized as well as done. So in terms of the damage factor for Elusivity, definitely it is Senju. Unless and until you don't get Senju from the hands of Vnom, then, winning out onto the team fights is looking out quite tough. Shini just goes back. He does has the AOG as well to escape. The ults are getting quite baited out, but Godspeed tries to dive in onto the back line.
Yeah, just a poke though. I mean, this is good. You cannot take a fight at this point. You need to wait for the Lord to come in and then the neutral objective securance. If you can want to go for a fight, you can actually go out there. Because you're winning the fight. You do have those sustain into your hand. And this is the thing I was talking about, the item section, which we saw before. It's more like the attack speed build, or you're going to say the attack type of build being done by Lapu Lapu and Thamuz as well. They're not going to the sustain. It's only the Gatot Kacha out there. So that's the main reason they're falling out in each and every fight. Even though the alpha is still there, he got that true damage, but doesn't work against this big tank he wants. There you go, the Lord spawn in, the third Lord. Let's see, this is the 16-minute mark, Lord. They might gonna wait out for 18 minutes. They might gonna do a Lord dance here for 2 minutes. I don't feel like Madara is waiting for something. So do Korikuti for that clutch with the Blood Ruin. But let's see if that Blood Ruin can come up or not. It will be the Bakshia. Madara giving out the rotation. There you go. The Blood Ruin comes up. People got caught up into their way. Totes potions coming in, slowing down the way. And with the meantime, we're going to see the Feather Strike comes up from the behind, busting out a lot of energy. Senju, my goodness, killing spree onto Shini. Can it be a double at this point? It will be a double because it is the Prince Senju out there. Can it be a triple? Let's see if we can actually go for it. No, it will be Kanba shutting down Gospel there. But with that, we're going to see Madara falling down in the hand of the Ripper. Ripped out Madara once again. And now it is a 50-50 chance for the Lord because Team Elusivity doesn't have their jungler. But Team Vnom Esports do have their jungler, but they don't have their roamer. Let's see if the zone can come. But before that, another fight coming in. It is the Alice Korikiri going in. Senju with the unstoppable onto the Ripper. This time, he will be ripping out Ripper. And this level of HP, the Feather Strike comes. So Senju goes back without the burst. It will be Forza getting cornered. The Zero Alpha comes in, but it will not catch up anyone in the way. Korikiri finds Scanbot. Level of HP, Richie got used. He's going back at this point, but he's getting chasing down by 3 members. Senju comes in, giving a shot there. Can he go for it? Spirit of Alpha will again get missed. He's still surviving with the force swing. What a fight continuing. 2 minutes longer. AOG following up as well. Shinny comes in. Let's see he can actually go for it or not. Korikute goes down there. What a way. Still surviving. 3 Spirit of Alpha into a row and still fighting on. But they're getting cornered down this time. Gospel comes in for the jungler. Can he manage to take him out? Oh no, my goodness, look at that. Monster will be secured by Senju. But what a longevity what it was from none other than Kelly, and it will be a finishing with a double by the final blows of Senju. And I might gonna see the lot getting out into the hand of Elusivity as well. But are they know that Yashu is hiding there in the bush?
I think they are aware of the fact that someone might actually try to invade, and this is why dangerous grass is actually dangerous. They are still not aware of the fact that Lapu Lapu is still standing there. Reaper is trying to buy some time onto the backline. He just goes and uses the vengeance as well, but he might not be able to escape. That will be a legendary for Senju. Feather Strike being used out by Caliber. He is trying to dive as well, but he just goes back. And Team Elusivity Esports will be buying enough time. But look at the Lapu Lapu. He hasn't even moved an inch. He is making sure he will be trying to make that clutch play and still not being aware this time. This time he will be chased down.
Oh, what a way, what a way. I mean, it was the last moment when it comes up. They know, like, if you have the guts to come in for the fight, you know someone is hiding there in the bush. Someone is there for sure, but you can't prove it. That was the way when the ultimate comes out from the Esmeralda inside the grass, and there you go. Godspeed with the steel cable goes in there. AOG comes up for the save, but this time he will be getting chunked down by none other than Senju with a legendary. The prince is right now riding the horse inside the land of dawn with the glorious spot, and there you go. It will be Godspeed securing the Lord out there for the 3rd time in a row, and this is not the inferior Lord. This is not the normal Lord. It will be the Maximus one. So, do you gonna say that, Itami, this is the mighty push? This is the Nexus, which will be open just because of the top lane getting cleared out. The inhibitor is not there, so the Nexus is totally open from the top. Do you think this is the end for Vnom Esports?
I think if the lane is cleared out on time, as well as Team Elusivity Esports, they are able to do the zoning, then maybe it could be a game over unless Team Elusivity don't lose out the members. Madara is onto the back. He just goes down. Immortality gets popped out. HTC.
Yo, the Feather Strike comes up. Ripper this time. It was a little bit overextensive from Madara though, and he goes down as well. And without Madara, I don't feel like they will be going for that fight here. But deflecting out the Lord, stalking it out there. It is a good idea from the side of Team Vnom Esports at this point. And in the meantime, we're going to see those waves, those big Lord minions coming in. The Lancer, the Cannon, everybody is still there. Once again, the Feather Strike. Oh my goodness. But before that, the Bravest Fighter comes in as well. In the meantime, Ripper is the one getting that solo Lord there onto the top. And he will be able to clear it out because he's really having the damage right now in his build.
Yeah, exactly. And Senju, one thing about him is he is being the hyper carry for the side of his team. He has the kills and he has the DHS as well. Onto the Kimi, it works out really well against the utility. Oh my god, they just engage.
They just engage, and this time the Feather Strike comes up once again, and it will be the Blood Ruin from Korikute. He goes in, but getting chunked down there as well. Ripper once again ripping out Korikute. This thing is not normal. We are seeing it so soon, and this team is not giving up. You saw that fight into the bot section, into the behind the Lord when Alpha was literally going for a 1v3 and straight 2 minutes and 23 or 25 seconds, if I'm not wrong. He was surviving there, but then it was Godspeed and the Co comes in, secure the kill, and Senju got it because obviously he's having the Sky Piercer right now with a stack of 80, legendary, not even fallen for a single time. The unkillable Prince is still standing. So it's maybe if you're gonna want to win this game, Itami, you need to take out the Prince here first.
Yeah, and the fact that he doesn't even have the boots and completed most of his items is being one of a threat. He even has the blood wings, so in terms of the sustain as well as onto the HP, he is quite dependent. But the fact he will be requiring the frontliners in order for him to be taking out some of the members. But there might be the team fight coming up. Godspeed goes in.
Godspeed goes in, but right now he needs to secure his retreat onto the Lord. Let's see, but before that, there is the zone coming out from Shini out there, as well as Yashu official being there. AOG comes up. Let's see who's going for the retreat. Legendary being grabbed up by Senju. Lord being slain. Killing spree onto Godspeed as well. Ripper going in. Madara falls down. Double from Senju onto the Kelly. It will be the redemption coming in. Senju, slaver of HP. Revistrator comes up. Baited out. The flicker goes back into safer zone.
No.
But it will be the Farsa chasing him out there. Canbot goes for the kill. The immortality pop up. But it will be the back off from the side of Canbot. He went for the kill. He was in the bloodlust. But what can he do? Senju's hand is so speedy. He just grab on that immortality at this perfect timing. And now the Lord coming in. The glorious Lord into the Nexus. The Nemesis is open at this point. Feather Airstrike coming in. Blood Rain with the Blood Awe as well. They're just deflecting their way. It will be the ultimate, absorbing all those energy. And it will be Esmeralda guarding the way. Let's see if Corey Cutie and the Co can actually take on the path to the victory for Elusivity Esports. Or it will be Vnom Esports once again giving out that defense onto this Lord as well. Feather Airstrike will be missed out here, but it will be the... Oh my goodness, look at that. It was coming here, and it will be the way for cornered him down as well. Sliver of HP, Korikuti goes in, falls down as well. Now, the retaliation part will be on for Elusivity. They will not gonna contest out.
Good defense, man. It is twice in a row that the Nexus was loose down and Team Elusivity Esports were not able to do the job done, thanks to the zoning that is coming out from Reaper as well as the other members from the side of Team Vnom Esports. In terms of the defense, they are definitely pulling it off, and it looks like onto the next fight and onto the next Lord, actually they might be contesting it out once again. But the main thing is, if they are able to take down one of the damage dealer from either of the side, I think it would be quite enough, because it's just not Kelly with the defenses. It is Reaper as well onto the Thamus. The guy, he is able to sustain out so much onto the team fights, so it is giving them quite of an advantage when it comes to team fights like that. And Godspeed might be trying to take down Calibut once again, but he does has the butt form. Spear of Alpha completely misses out onto Godspeed, and he just goes back. Ravis Fighter also comes up, but it might not be the potential team fights coming up. Only the resources getting baited out. Feather Airstrike being used out onto Senju, and they might be trying to engage this time. Crisis on the backline.
Yeah, Crisis on the backline at this point, and it will be the gank onto Can. But oh my goodness, he went for the mid laner. He went for the backliner first, and he grabbed it on as well. The Lord coming in, but before that, this Garmis will be a little bit higher. Shinny goes in there. AOG comes up. They're taking off the two members out. Ripper goes in. Corey falls down. Senju! My goodness, a shutdown happened to the Prince right now. A comeback possible one is coming in because three members down. It's just Godspeed and Crisis out there. Crisis might be taken up at this point. The recall will be restored here, and as well as the steel cable coming in. Four members right now cornering up there with the Crisis on, and he will be cornered down, and he goes back with the Slaver of HP. But now Godspeed clearing out the minions, the right way to do the thing. But there you go, a tier falls down onto the mid side. It is the Inhibitor, which is one of the biggest, attribute for Elusivity Esports, falls down in the mid side, expanding the area. They should go for the Lord or for the mighty push. We are seeing right now because the wave is coming in. Godspeed clearing out the waves there. Right decision, because you cannot defend out the minion waves here, because it is more like the AOG comes up. They're locking out the base. The cannon minion still standing in. They need to clear it out, but it will be the Nemesis open for the side of Team. Oh my goodness, what is happening? It is a right now retaliation happening. Oh my inch of HP for that base, and it is still standing strong. They were about to clear it out. They threw everything. But in the end, it is the defense comes up by Elusivity Esports, and there's just Canbot out there. Can he save it up? Itami.
Absolute Siriba. But it's only Calibut remaining, as well as the minions. as there for the side of Team Elusivity Esports. He will be trying to use the Feather Day Strike, but it won't be enough. The recalls as well as the spams coming up, and it is a complete wipeout for the side of Team Venom Esports. One minion was all they required, and they won't be able to do the job done. Venom Esports will be falling, and it will be Team Elusivity pulling up the comeback as well as taking the game.
Bro, I can't even say anything at this point. I was looking at the fight. It was like the cannon minion out there. Godspeed went for the cannon minion, secured it. It was just like this inch. If we're gonna do that inch tape, it was like this.
Yeah, it was this much.
It was so accurate for the side of Venom Esports. They're about to make the comeback. The 3 kills in the way, but then it was a little bit like they might not rate the patch, I believe. It's not now you can actually stand out there in the base and take it out, even though it is this much. You need the minions. You need something out there. Even the Eternal Guardian would have helped you. You don't have it at this point. And so sad for Venom Esports. They really fought so hard. I mean, it's Senju, of course, with the MVP, but what can I say? Kelly, this man, hats off, man. That guy was so good with Alpha. Off meta picks, the Alpha, the Tammuz were in the hand of Reaper and Kelly, but it works so well, Itami. I can't even glaze Elusivity. Even though they won the game, I can't even glaze because it's not like Venom Esports just gave him the win. They tried their best. They tried even the last possible thing, the mighty push. But it is more like you cannot say that hard work. This is more like the luck.
Yeah, it was more of a gamble, but the gamble didn't pay off for this time for the side of Team Venom Esports because they had the minions as well. They had the sustain, but once the minion was taken down, actually shout out to Godspeed, man. He did make sure the minions was down, and if he was not able to do so, then maybe the scenario would have been different. But so close, but yet so far. That is what happened for the side of Team Venom Esports, and it will be Team Elusivity taking the victory. But kudos, man. This is the round robin, actually, this is the round robin. So qualifying for the Swiss stages is going to be, a lot more tougher because there are more competitive teams, as much as Team Elusivity Esports. But Venom Esports, actually, it's been a while I actually seen them onto the tournament scene. Elusivity, they have been really active. They have recently been runners up onto the LAN as well. So in terms of performance wise, Venom Esports also did pull off, but it was kind of a bit unfortunate for the side, and Elusivity Esports will be the one taking the victory. But kudos to both of the sides, man. 26 minutes game, and it was almost 27. So the match definitely pulled off. And look at the stats. The rich guy is definitely going to be Godspeed, and the carry, of course, with 15 kills onto his name, is going to be Senju. And on the other hand, for the side of Team Venom Esports, the sandbag, of course, Shinny was doing all of the sandbag work. He was taking the damage, he was engaging with the EOGs as well, and the wingman will be Korikuti diving onto the backline with the Alice ultimate. He was able to do the job. Sometimes, even if 4 people were getting caught up, he was not getting the backup from the side of his team. But in terms of the assist, it is definitely showing off the team fight participation is more from the side of Korikuti.
Hats off, man. Really absolute cinema in the last minute. It was the plot twist. You can say it can be anything, but that was really, sad for Venom Esports. Hard luck, guys. This just a lose. You can make your comeback. What a game it was. You were playing against Elusivity, who were there in the scene so long, and they were playing so good against other teams, but you gave them the hard time. They were about to crash out, but it was the luck. It was that one minion. They might be thinking that what happened to that one minion, but hats off to Godspeed as well, Itami. He didn't went for something else. He went for the minions. He did the right thing. He deflected out the minion. He gave some time to his team to come back. And at the same time, Korikuti and all comes in and grab up the kill. But it's okay. Currently, we'll be taking a break, Itami, because the 4th game is yet to come because the night is not over. So stay tuned with us at War Drum Esports, War Drum Games, and subscribe to our channel, like the stream, share the stream to your friends. This is Mythic Showdown Season 2, one of the biggest tournaments of India right now going in at War Drum Games. So don't miss it out. There is a lot of giveaways for you viewers. So be there, stay tuned, get hydrated, and open up your chips packet. And let me tell you last thing. That is, this is not just a tournament. This will be a LAN, and the prize pool is so huge for the first time in India. 4 lakh cash with 2 lakh diamonds. So can you just imagine this much big? So what you're waiting for? Invite your friends. Let them know the game is going in. Let them barge in and watch the biggest tournament of India live.
Hi guys, ladies and gentlemen. I think, as you can see, we are back with Mythic Showdown season number 2 yet again. This is the round robin that you're watching. Of course, a lot of series of best of ones, and we have the end right now, the last match we were all waiting for. We have Yellowstones versus Inheaven, with another best of one. So this is going to be the decider of who's going to be going into the 0-1 bracket or 1-0 bracket. So that's definitely something that all the teams will be wanting to go for. A lot of victories that we have seen, a lot of defeats that we have seen. So this will be the same story. So as for the casting deck, we have Wands with me. I mean, I know you can see us, guys. So Wands is going to be casting with me, and we'll be together here for right now. So Wands, what do you think about Yellowstones or Inheaven?
Well, we already know that Inheaven they were known as another team previously, which was Big Climate, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yep.
And yeah, we are quite familiar with the players, especially players like Skyzen, one of the fan favorite.
Of course.
Yeah, he is a very young esport player as well, and yeah, he has a lot of fans. So we are definitely going to see a lot of supporters for Inheaven. And as for Yellowstone, I'm not quite aware of them that much, so I will just be analyzing them tonight, and I'll be seeing how they're gonna perform. But yeah, Debbie, talking about these two teams, I'm quite thrilled to the previous game that we got to witness against Vnom Esport and Elusivity. So what are you expecting? Are you expecting a banger like a last game, like the previous game in this game as well?
I mean, we'll see, because best of one series are very, very different than the full series that we usually have, like, best of threes or fives. So I think it's going to be a do or die situation. And the fact that, Yellowstone is basically peak to plummet, it's exciting to say the least that they have the tendency to throw the first game and come back for a pick out place into the second one. So for them, it might be a disadvantage because it is a best of one series.
Yeah.
Just one game is not be for them. It can be a disadvantage for them. But for Inheaven, though, I think they have a brand new lineup, so we are about to see them to the draft. Who is gonna be there, on who is gonna be playing what? So there's no saying if they'll be able to pull some upset. But like you mentioned, I think we already know who the lineup is gonna be for the side of Yellowstone. But for Inheaven, it's still uncold because for a long time, I think we have seen Inheaven being playing in a tournament, and they have found so many upsets. They have found their ways in a lot of tournaments, and then being able to beat out the big teams also. But yeah, with the information that we have of them changing up the lineups, I think this will be a very, very brand new team for us too. But I hope, being in Mythic Showdown, being in the Mythic leaderboards, I think that they'll be able to perform well, because this is a big stage that we already are aware of. So I hope they have all the guns into their pockets, and the warriors, the armors into their vests, that they can bring into this game, so that they'll be able to stand a chance against Yellowstones.
Yeah. And yeah, definitely I do agree with what you said, but it seems like when it comes to Yellowstone, we are definitely gonna see a very peculiar kind of a draft, because they are kind of people who really like to stir up a very unique draft. And wow, talking about the draft, Debbie, we can already see the draft already started, and there have been some picks as well, which is from the side of Inheaven. They have the first pick here. We can see that already picked the Yuzhong, Kalia, and a Kagura, whilst team Yellowstone here, they have the Lunox, the Lapu Lapu, and the Grok. So they have a pretty solid lineup here, both of these teams. And I do have to say that Yellowstone, they have a really good crowd control on their side with the Grok and the Lapu Lapu, as well as a strong burst with the Lunox, because she is very high burst DPS mage. So that's going to be a little bit of a trouble for the Kalia and the Yuzhong. But what is surprising me here is we're seeing a Kagura. So yeah, there's that. So you definitely need more crowd control onto the side of Team Inheaven. Because if we talk about the crowd control, I feel like the Yuzhong is the only one who has a little bit of crowd control as Kalia. She is a single target lock hero. So yeah, she's definitely gonna be picking off one single target at a time.
Absolutely. And you know, the fact that Yellowstone have the Lunox already, it's very big. Now it can be a flex. So the Kagura cannot really be a flex, but they pair together with the Kalea and the Yuzong already. So hmm, that's one big thing that they can talk about. So what is gonna be a good ban here?
I mean, talking about the ban, we have already seen the bans from the side of Yellowstone. They have banned 5 heroes, which is relatively the range, then the Fusion, CC, and the Lancelot. As for Inheaven, we can see they've banned the usual. A lot of EXP laners actually from the side of Inheaven. Baksha, the Kimi, the Alice, the Phovius, and now I think they might go for a another ban, which could be an Xbox, maybe possibly if they're looking for that utility bundle. Because the kind of a lineup that they have right now, it's looking like they are gonna go for more of a tanky type of a jungle, which is gonna be the utility. So they have
Yeah.
to really look out for the Xbox if they are opting for a utility jungle. But yeah, Debbie, we can already see the fourth pick from the side of Yellowstone, which is none other than the Harrod. So this is definitely a Harrod which is going to be thrown into the goal lane. And yeah, possibly a Lunox mid lane there. So yeah,
Of course.
this is definitely going to be a late game scaling team. I mean, a game for Stone. And as for Inheaven, they are yet to pick their marksman and the jungler, so we are yet to see what they're gonna come up with. But looking at the pick right now, I do feel like they might go for a Esmeralda, but oh my god, they're not looking for Esmeralda. They're going for the Bane and the Hayabusa. So both of these teams, they're opting for a late game. They're not looking for a smooth early game. They're leaning more into the late game. But yeah, talking about the side of Inheaven, you have the Hayabusa. So that the Hayabusa definitely has potential snowball in the early game. So yeah, they have to be really careful of the Hayabusa. But yeah, talking about Yellowstone, they still have their jungler. Yeah, we are gonna see that what kind of a jungler they're gonna go with here.
You know, Yellowstone is more well versed when they have a late game scaling hero onto the gold lane side rather than the fighters. So it's not surprising to see them going for the Harris. But hey, Xbox was completely left open, even though it's really not the best choice to go here. But Xbox cannot really die, so it's mainly because Wakais is also having a lot of momentum with this Xbox, because we have seen him into the qualifiers round, into the wildcard stages as well. He have been able to have the level leads, the gold leads, and of course the wins onto this Xbox. So they want to stick to that, and very good read from Yellowstone as well, because they know that they wanted that Xbox for the last races, and they did not completely ban away the assassins, right? The Lancelot was a must ban hero, so that cannot be counted. But now the lineups are already set in for both of the teams. A Purify for Skyzen onto this Harris, because of course obviously there is going to be a Kalea, and against a Kalea you want to go for the Purify hero. Finn might eventually try to go for Elusivity pickup onto this Harris, so that's definitely a goal for them right now. So the lineups are actually in at once. I think the mid lane might eventually be a 50-50 situation, so it kind of depends on how the tank is able to perform. So what do you feel about the Kalea and the Grog into the mid side?
I feel like when it comes to the roamer, I feel like the Grok is way more flexible because he can definitely be a really good initiator in fights. For the Kalia, she pick off hero. Once she dives in, she really has to commit to the fight, and only escape tool that a Kalia has is a flicker. If your flicker is burned out before the team fight, once you're in, you are definitely one who's going to be sacrificing yourself for the team. So yeah, the mid lane, the roamer, I feel like the Grok is definitely going to be better because he has a lot of crowd control immunity, a lot of crowd control, as well as way more tanky than the Kalia. Even though the Kalia, she is a healer and a tank, but the heal definitely she needs a condition which is triggering the path 2 times, and she has to use basic attacks. So that just makes her more offensive because she needs a target to hit on. If she tries to trigger her passive, she will be going more into the team fight on a target there. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that was the lineups that we have right now for Yellowstone and Inheaven. They have the momentum to go for the early stages. For Inheaven, they want to go for a contest onto the circle because of the presence of the use wrong. But then again, for Ricky, he have the Lapu Lapu onto the grab. So let's see, ladies and gentlemen. Let's head into the Land of Dawn. We have Inheaven versus Yellowstone in the best of one series and this round robin. So we will see how they'll be able to find their mates into this game.
Yeah, this is a round robin, so they really have to give it their all. They definitely need to play it off really safe, especially in the early game against Inheaven because they have the Hayabusa. So yeah, you definitely do not want to give Hayabusa the early lead in the late game, especially. So yeah, look at the Xbox. It seems like he's trying to go for the Lethal Wanderer here, but then there's a lot of zoning coming up from the side of Inheaven there.
Absolutely a great poking coming through, but Gokkai still able to secure onto this little wonder. So that's a little of a little thing that you want to gain for momentum for a good start, there. But real quick onto the emblem check once. I don't think wait. In I was thinking already though, so that's actually a poke and a poke into the mid side. But back to the point, it's a Tang emblem for the Xbox. So what do you think about that?
I feel like the Tang emblem is really good because they do have bursts from the Kagura and the Hayabusa. And the Tang emblem provides you that extra defense, especially early in mid game. So yeah, the Faraga armor will not be popped early as compared to other emblems when the Xbox is fixed. But we can see here that our guy Lemon Nair is going in and giving a lot of tankiness though. Ooh.
Oh my god, that was actually post from Rinty, but got Kai's on the mid side. Flickering away to safety, there was a poke, there was a big resources that they brought down, and this turtle might eventually be into the hands of Yellowstone right now because the macro that they were having right there was amazingly on point because, you know, most of the time when we talk about the Yulo into the XP side, you want him to be lower into this XP so that he will be able to contest onto the turtle. Never mind, that might be a stun coming through. That's gonna be a jump by Finn, trying to get something on there, but the second kill will be first one to Savage Warrior. Finn also tamed down. The tech charge is gonna be committed as well, but Miyog not able to survive with the dragon as well, getting chunked down. He will be taken down onto the missile. It's gonna be the first one, and the second coming through. It's gonna be the stream. Ricky able to grab a kill onto Nora as well. That was 3-for-1, all in favor of Yellowstone.
Wow, Yellowstone coming up really strong right off the early game. They know that the Hayabusa is an assassin, so there is a lot of pressure on assassin when you're going up against fighter or tank jungle. Yeah, the pressure is already building up. We can see invasion from the side of Yellowstone onto the purple buff of Inheaven, and they managed to secure it without any problem. Eminair just being a menace on the jungle of Inheaven, and he's just disrupting the flow of farm on Rinty. Rinty, though, being denied of each and every farm that he has.
Oh, got I think. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be the killing spree. The last insanity perfectly on point. He was able to go in, but that's gonna be the shadow kill onto the back. Guys, Ricky might be getting in trouble. The shadow is still available, but the seal will not be helping him survive. Coco with the last hit able to trade down the XP for XP laners.
Yeah, that was definitely a trade-off for the XP there. But yeah, I think Ricky dying off early game, it wouldn't affect them much, but he's dead.
Oh my goodness! That's gonna be the tsunami slam! Savage Warrior able to dive in the chaos. He'll not be popping anytime soon, but he does not have the freelance. The 55 coming through with the dragon. Yuck! Able to prep a kill onto Savage Warrior yet again. The flicker is in Heaven. Have to walk away because Kai's right now driving into the middle of it all. He might be able to get the 2 kills onto his hand. Mega kill for the jungler for the side of Peak. They are able to find trades everywhere, but onto the other hand, Ricky trying to go in, get a kill onto Ranty, but he will have to walk away because that was all the farm, all the kills that they require. Skyzen still free with the hitting, and the turtle is already up.
Yeah, the turtle is already up, and it seems like the second turtle might as well go into the hands of Yellowstone because they have a lot of pressure onto the map, and they have a lot of lead. They already are ahead by 3.2k goal lead, so that is a lot. And yeah, Lemonade, just look at Lemonade, Debbie. This guy, such a menace, so troublesome for the side of Inheaven. And look at this, 3 members are being distracted by Lemonade, whilst the members from the side of Yellowstone are just invading so easily onto the jungle of Inheaven.
Absolutely, man. This is why you do not give out the grog even when you, especially when you are on an assassin jungle, because he's always going to be following your pathing right now. And once you can see that there might be 2 turrets already falling down for the side of Inheaven, but that's going to be a dragon being popped trying to save onto that top lane turret. But no, you cannot really do that, because at that point of a time, there's always everyone around the vicinity trying to save, trying to take out the turrets. And I think Yellowstone, they have all their priorities in check.
Yeah, a quick check on the itemization. We can see that Lemnir is prioritizing the Dominance Ice as the first item, but never mind. We can see there is a skirmish onto the mid lane here. The first tier from the mid lane, from the side of Inheaven, is gonna go down, but Lapu Lapu pops up the bravest fighter, but nonetheless catches.
I think that's a resource being burned. But then again, if you talk about the bravest fighter, oh, never mind. There might be a re-engagement coming too, but the flicker is still out there, guys. Going in with the last incense, you might be getting chunked down quite low, but there's not a follow-up coming through. The Deadly Cat is still available for grabs, but it will not be helping them take anyone down. The Zaman first will be popped me out, taken down. This is gonna be the damage coming through, but it's gonna be a stun as well. No water, no resources available for the side of Inheaven to take anyone down. A peak, no, Yellowstone, they'll be able to find the outer turret right now onto the bottom lane.
Oh my god, Debbie, we are just 6 minutes into the game and we have already 1, 2, 3, 4 turrets falling from the side of Inheaven. They're being pressurized all over the map. They have no jungle control, they have no map control, and yeah, they are definitely behind on objective items as well as the kills, because they're being pressurized from each and every corner. They're just being sandwiched from the side lane to the jungle to the roam. Everything is just in favor of Yellowstone, and Yellowstone, they're just building up the pressure again and again. This is the third turtle onto the side of Yellowstone, and man, look at the goal lead, Debbie. We are just merely 7 minutes and 20 seconds into the game, already a 6k goal lead from the side of Yellowstone, and we can see the level ranking here. Got guys on the Xborg level 12 already in merely just 7.5. But look at the
Slam, onto guys, there might be something right there, but the damage is not gonna be full up. Oh, it's gonna be the tech charge, and the knockout gonna be able to grab a kill onto Guys right now. The Sena kill, grabbing 2 kills onto his own, but the flicker will be coming through for Nora. Might be able to survive. Does have to heal the dragon with the petrify. Coco able to get a kill onto Ricky right now. Dragon Mihawk still onto the run. That's gonna be Ricky trying to go in for more. The brilliance being popped. Savage Warrior still able to survive, but Inheaven, that was a good engage that they are looking for, and they will be neutralizing the amount of goal lead that Yellowstone already had.
Yeah, they definitely got a breather with the fight that they had earlier, and yeah, it definitely opened up a bit of a advantage for them, because now Yellowstone, they are a bit behind onto the lead. They have thrown a bit, and that is definitely gonna create a bit of a trouble for them. For the Grok, we can see the Grok combo with no follow-up.
That's have the flicker able to survive, not for long. The star residue able to take him down, but Nora onto the other hand will be taken down by Skies, and yet again there was a trade everywhere, but still I think it can be in favor of Yellowstone, because it's a rumor for a goal laner that we are talking about.
Yeah, that is the goal laner that we were talking about. But Debbie, look at Yogi kill onto the Hayabusa being popped, but nonetheless no casualty whatsoever. But yeah, this time around we can see that the first lot of the game is spawning in about 7 seconds. So now it's going to be a contest for the lot, and it seems like both sides of the team are getting prepared for this lot, and we can already see the Lapu Lapu Reiki, they're providing map vision and just being there onto the bush alongside Skyzen. Skyzen already stirring up the lot, and it seems like everyone is just positioning themselves for the lot here. And we can see though, on the bot lane, there is a Savage Warrior putting lane pressure onto the bot lane. So even if they commit for the lot, they have to defend out the lane. But oh my goodness, what happened, Coco?
Damn. I think that was their best pickup that they could find and trade away with the Lord. Unfortunately for Yellowstone, the Lord will be spawning up to real soon, and they will not be having Lemonade in the future. He is gonna be 10 seconds away from being from spawning, but that's a lot of time that is gonna be wasting right now. So yeah, the outer turret might be the only thing that we might be able to take in this Lord.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like this Lord will not provide them much value because it is merely just a internet Lord. It's pretty weak, but man, look at Savage Warrior. There was a beautiful kill onto the bot lane, onto the guy Rint. So now this is a 4v5 with the Lord marching down the top lane. I feel like the Lord handled pretty easily because the shield from the outer turret is still there. So that will definitely melt down the Lord. But we can see here that the members are still forcing a lot of
Oh my
stuff.
goodness!
Oh
And
my
the
goodness!
and the tsunami slam, no, Ricky. Previous fighter able to get the purify perfectly on point, but there might be a re-engagement coming through the Cyrus to do, and the knockout coming in. Skyzen able to grab a kill onto Mihawk right now. They're trying to go in for more. Coco might be getting in trouble. Kai's he is going in, but the Faraga armor will be popped as well. Skyzen with the Zaman Force able to zone the people away. God Kai's still having to survive, but one inhibitor is what they want, and they will be able to get dead.
Oh my god! Oh my god, Debbie! This was really great for Inheaven. They couldn't defend the outer turret, and they even lost a member, Mihawk, there on the user. It seems like he's really struggling to get into the backline, especially against Skyzen, because he has had it pretty mobile. Even if you get your hands on the Skyzen, he's just gonna pop up his Zaman Force and will use the Chrono Dashes to just instantly dash out from the zone of the Yuzong. And as for, Savage Warrior, she has the Brilliance. So that is a really, really safe mechanic tool that she has against the Yuzong. Even if Mihawk tries to go for the backline, but we can see a Lemon possibly looking for a setup, but yeah, he's just not gonna commit to it right now. He's just providing vision for the team. But yeah, looking at the pace of the game, I feel like they might catch up soon with Inheaven. Oh my god, a tsunami slam!
Let me catch! Tsunami slam will be popped as well, but Texas will be able to help him survive. It's gonna be Skyzen with his amount first, but Cyrus were able to grab one kill, but Rinty with another kill of his own. Lemonaire will be taken down with a settle kill, so the fights are everywhere, but still.
Oh, this is looking really tough for Yellowstone because they're just unable to get a game, but Renti on the higher so much burn. It was just the lack of the Yogi Shadow, and if Renti had that, he could have definitely secured the kill on that Lapu. But yeah, talking about Renti, I do feel like Renti in this game, he's doing really well. He was being gapped from every corner in the early and mid phase of the game, but somehow he's still managing to hold up against Yellowstone here, and it seems like he's gonna go in for the Lord. The ult being popped.
Okay, he might be getting caught though. Kai's able to grab the lore, but it's gonna be a kill again onto Savage Warrior. Rinty will be getting shut down. There was a good attempt, but what can you do against 5 members when you are not synergized with the team? That is what you'll be getting there. So the Lord will still be in favor of Yellowstone.
Yeah, that is definitely into the favor of Yellowstone since they got the Lord. They can definitely put more pressure. And yeah, they are definitely gonna do that. But yeah, Debbie, talking about the game, I feel like there's still hope for Inheaven because they do have the Bane, and the Bane with full items, you can't really underestimate it. The Deadly Catch being popped, big resource there, and yeah, the Lord is already marching in. You can see the Tsunami Slam.
Tsunami Slam, the tick guys, and the knockout coming through. It's gonna be Ricky at the big line to dive in. First will be probably as well. The Lord still has the advantage. There might be something on. Ricky able to grab a kill, but the base is what Yellowstone wanted to focus on, and they will be successful in ending the game after so long. Once we were expecting the end, but still Inheaven, they hold on for so long, and it's just taking a lot of time for Yellowstone to end that.
Yeah, that was definitely a big bummer for Yellowstone. They couldn't end the game quite soon. But they definitely maintained the tempo of the game. The pace of the game was definitely on their hand. And the consistency, I would say, that they put throughout the game was definitely what led to the ultimate result, which led them to become the winner of the game. But yeah, I do have to say that Yellowstone, they performed exceptionally well. Game and the pace of the game was quite into their favor right off the early game. And yeah, Debbie, we can already see M from the side of Yellowstone. It is none other than our boy here, Kaizen on the Harrod with a beautiful 87% team fight participation. This guy is just
Yeah, I think most of the time the Zaman Force was used as a way of zoning, but the damage was also there definitely. But I feel like most of the important factor has been done by Savage Warrior because he was able to grab a kill onto Ryu time and again. And if you compare the both of the gold laners here, Noray onto the Bane, and nerfed Bane by the way wasn't able to do anything here because even if you talk about the gold per minute too, the more gold was into the hands of Skies and Ezreal, and that means the gold laner was in favor of Skyzen, and that also means that he's going to be having a lot of kills into his hands and damages too. On to the other hand, the jungles. I feel like Green Tea is doing a good job in the side up in Heaven. He was performing so well, getting in and out, trying to get all those skills and trying to equalize onto that as well. So that was amazingly well done. And about the mid lane though, I think there wasn't any kind of damage that Kagura could do there. Coco wasn't much of a factor, right?
Yeah, definitely. The Kagura was not really impactful in this game. She couldn't really pick up Skyzen, neither could she pick up the Savage Warrior, which was a bit disappointing, but definitely makes sense because, yeah, these two heroes are really high cat, especially Savage Warrior with the Brilliance providing immunity for herself. So, yeah, that is there. But, yeah, talking about the EXP lanes, we definitely did see a lot of difference in the EXP as well. We did see Mihawk on the Yuzong struggling really bad against the Lapu Lapu. And yeah, the Lapu Lapu was such a menace in the early game as well as the late game, being a really good sandbag for the team. Just tanking so much damage and yeah, creating space for Savage Warrior as well as Kaizen to dish out damage from the back. And overall, I would say the draft was really good from the side of Yellowstone because their draft really complemented each other. They had a good early game lineup as well as late game. And as for Inheaven, their only carry for the early game was the Hayabusa, which quite didn't go as planned because the Hayabusa was being pressurized way too much. We did see a lot of invasion coming up from the side of Yellowstone. Yellowstone, they were just invading twice, thrice onto the purple buff, which led to the jungle difference. But despite that, in the late game, I would say that Rinty performed exceptionally well on the Hayabusa as well.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry to interrupt. It's it's the time of the night again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna be announcing the 20 giveaway winners, each getting 100 diamonds. So yeah, total of 2,000 diamond giveaway. So first of all, we're going to be going with the active people. So if you're in the chat, make sure you have joined the Discord channel. And if you haven't, you can always, just comment down below your IDs in the chat. Our moderators will pick it up. If not, after this stream is over, you can also comment down below your your ID there. We'll obviously keep it noted. So anyways, I'm going to be announcing the first 20. So first, let's go. Song Femil. Is that person in the chat? I think not. Yeah. If not, we'll just go ahead. Second one is going to be Hey Ha. That's a crazy name. Then Lol Guy. Then Cage. Okay, one second. Hey Ha. Lol Guy. Cage. Kaushik. Nemo. Then Grand Centurion. Then Thomas Sekepam. Then Manish Verma. MLBB Lover, Mentally Broken MLBB, Yom Edit, Abeto Muru. I guess these people, but I guess most people are not here. Yeah, I think they left after being active in a while. So let me just give it to the people that are still active. Just let's go. Debbie wants. Can you see the chat? Okay, Mentally Broke MLBB. He's giving his ID. Kaushik, you've won. Cage, you've won. Yomedit, you've won. Melchis, you've won. Who else? Soyphone, you've won. Yeah, Soyphone. Yeah, your song theme. Soyphone, you've won. Tai Now Cha, you've won. Then who else? Kodat Pieri. Kodat Pieri, you've won. Thomas Aikpem, yes, you've won. Mayank, yes, you've won. Mishidzo Wezi, yeah, you have won as well because there are moderators in the top chat. So make sure you give your guys. I think that's around 20 people, right? What do you say, Debbie? Just give your IDs, guys. We'll pick the first 20. Yeah.
It's only
That's it.
it's only 20. Okay.
Yeah. We'll just pick the first 20. I think we've already given, but yeah. We'll pick the first 20. Let's, okay, with it, we'll close it off. And Debbie and Once, you can close it as well. Thank you.
Yep. I mean, thank you for the viewers for watching it anyways, because I think mainly if you are a team, of course you're going to be staying there. And I think this is also the second time that we have done the giveaway. 2k diamonds, 250 for each of the members that are still very lucky to get that. And I hope you are lucky enough to get that too. And if you are not getting it, I think it's something wrong with you, because if you are a regular watcher or a viewer, of course you're going to get that. Everyone keep an eye on who's active right there. So stay active for us. And I hope you are enjoying all the games that we have today. 4 games, best of 1 series. We have more going on. Some of the big teams are still left to be playing. We have our schedule for tomorrow too. If you want to check it out, you can check it out onto your Instagram posts as well, because we'll be always uploading there. And live is always going to be onto the War Drums channel that we are right now. And of course, Mobile 5v5 officials too. So I hope you do not miss out again. And if you want another giveaway that you all will be loving, I think the audience will love to. Yeah, stay tuned for it. Then this will be what we will be giving you for today. We are going to be signing off. Me and Once will be saying our goodbyes. So good night for you guys.